All right, court is going to call 2025 CR 004887 State versus one Alberto Martinez. Can I have parties announced for the record?
Randy Griffith, Steve.
And for the defense?
Robert Featherston and Adam Halls
All right.
for Mr. Martinez.
And are you Mr. Martinez?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, the defense has requested that the rule be invoked, so the rule is going to be invoked. My next question for both parties, with regards to the motion to suppress, was there a arrest warrant or a search warrant in this case?
No, Your Honor.
All right,
So,
so,
Your Honor, we'll agree to that.
all right, so State, are you stipulating that there was no warrant?
Yes, Judge, we stipulate to it being a warrantless arrest.
All right. So then we're ready to proceed. You may call your witness.
State calls Officer Jeffrey Lush.
Judge, if it please the court, it's our motion. We'd like to go ahead and call Benjamin Sigala at this time.
Of course, but I'll tell, however parties want to proceed, you can proceed that way. But normally, if it's a warrantless arrest, then it shifts to the state. But if the state has no objections to allowing the defense to proceed first, then the court will proceed that way.
Yeah, I would prefer that the burden shift then to the state to proceed with testimony.
Counsel, it's the court's understanding of the law that, that once parties have stipulated that there's a warrantless arrest, then the burden then falls upon the state. But I understand it is your motion.
Judge, we'll proceed as the court wishes. It's my wish to go ahead and call Detective Sigala. However, if the court has ruled that state can proceed, then we'll honor that.
And Judge, as we bear the burden, we would ask that we be allowed.
All right, you may proceed.
Thank you, Judge.
Who they call him? Lush. Okay.
It is for the court reporter to hear.
Yes.
Right, you may be seated. Could you raise your right hand for me, please?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can lower your hand. If you'll state your name for the record and spell your last name, please.
Jeffrey Lesh, Lesh.
All right, state you may proceed.
Mr. Lush, how are you presently employed?
By the San Antonio Police Department.
How long have you been employed with SAPD?
A little over 6 years.
What have been your assignments over the past 6 years?
Patrol officer,
What are your duties as a patrol officer?
to make routine calls and make routine traffic stops.
What is your educational background?
Criminal justice degree.
Okay, is that a 4-year degree?
Yes, ma'am.
What was your assignment on January 10th, 2024?
I believe it's for this case, for covert patrol or covert response unit.
Is covert response unit duties the same as normal patrol duties?
No, ma'am.
How do they differ?
Then I basically follow what the detective says, say that they need to pull over a vehicle, then we'll pull it over, do an investigative stop on it.
Okay. Were you on duty on January 10th, 2024?
Yes, ma'am.
What were the hours of the shift you were working on January 10th?
I don't recall. We changed different times at that. I don't know if they called me in early at that time.
Is your microphone on, Lauren? No, the cable? Yeah. Now it is, I apologize. Okay, were you in uniform on January 10th, 2024?
Yes, ma'am.
Were you in a March patrol unit?
Yes, ma'am.
Were you working alone or with a partner on that date?
Alone at that time.
Okay. Are you familiar with the case under SAPD 24007209?
Yes, ma'am.
What case is that?
I believe the offense was possession of PG1 over 400 grams.
How did you become involved in that case?
I was advised to go contact Detective Sigala at a via bus station downtown.
You were advised by whom?
The sergeants at Covert Response Unit.
Where you said a via bus station downtown. Do you recall the address?
No, ma'am.
Do you recall whether it was in Bear County?
Yes, ma'am.
What did you observe when you arrived to the location?
Buses at the location, people at the location.
Did you ever enter the location?
Yes.
What did you observe when you entered?
people inside, and I was advised to go to the male restroom where Detective Sigala was at.
What happened next?
He told me that the person that he wanted to make contact with was inside the restroom. Detective Sigala started talking to him, and then he wouldn't listen to commands and wouldn't come out of the restroom when we asked him multiple times. And then
I'm so sorry. Could you repeat the last part? I didn't hear it. You said something about coming out of the restroom.
We asked him to come out of the restroom multiple times. He wouldn't come out of the restroom, and we believe that he was destroying evidence. And then due to our safety of him possibly having a weapon, I kicked in the door, and then took him to basically placed him on the ground, and then placed him in handcuffs.
Okay, you said he was placed into handcuffs. Who is he handcuffed by?
I believe, I don't recall on that one. I don't know if it was me or Detective Sigala.
Okay, did you identify the individual?
Yes, we got his ID.
Who was the individual identified as?
I believe his name was Juan Martinez.
Juan Martinez in the courtroom today?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you please point to him and identify him by an article of clothing?
That one, I don't remember what he exactly looks like.
So what is he wearing today? Is he in the courtroom today?
I believe it's, I don't know.
Okay, no worries. What happened after Mr. Martinez was handcuffed?
After he was handcuffed, ma'am?
Mhm.
We got him in handcuffs. He gave me consent to search his bag, where I got his ID, and then Detective Sigala interviewed him.
Did you have any findings of searching the backpack that he had?
Any findings? I found a blanket and his wallet.
Okay, what did the backpack look like?
I don't recall.
Okay, did you have a body worn camera on January 10th, 2024?
Yes, ma'am.
Was it operational?
Yes.
To your knowledge, was it functioning properly?
Yes.
Your Honor, may I approach?
Yes.
Is he, which is this previously?
Yeah, those are his initials and badge number.
All right, very good.
I'm gonna hand you what's been marked as State's Exhibit M1. What is this?
This was a CD.
Do you recognize it?
Yes.
How do you recognize
Due to looking at the video footage.
it? You have the contents on it?
Yes, ma'am.
Is it a fair and accurate depiction of January 10th?
Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor, this time state moves to admit M1 into evidence.
Any objections?
For the purposes of this hearing, no objection.
All right, then State's Exhibit M1 would be admitted without objections for purposes of this hearing only.
Permission to publish?
Granted. Okay, you all may proceed.
Okay, so looking at the top right corner of this video, can you tell me the time?
1654.
What time does that translate to, not in military time?
4:54 p.m.
Positive State's Exhibit at 25 seconds. Who is this individual in the yellow shirt?
Detective Sigala.
Okay, is that the SAPD uniform?
Yes. Or,
He's wearing the SAPD.
oh
uniform?
no, that he's in a covert.
Okay, resuming State's Exhibit.
You got a ticket? Yeah, I got a ticket. Please check. Open the door, let's see. Right, you have an ID? Hey, brother, we got an ID. Come on, police. Yeah. Brother. Open it. Come here, get it out. Shit, baby, shut up. Fucking shit. Why aren't you opening it? I was taking shit, look at shit on my pants. Huh? I shit on my pants. Okay, well, we got a call first, there's a bag. And all, what is in your bag? Oh, my jacket, man. My jacket? Yes. Okay. Man, look, I can really shit on my pants, man. What happened? She kicked me in the back. Nobody kicked you in the back. Okay, so I'm gonna show you. Nobody kicked you in the back. You kicked me in the back. That look, I shit on my pants, man, okay? That's not okay. What do you want? Man, you can't get anything, come on. There you go. Yeah. What's this shit, man? Man, there's shit on the box of one. No, it's shit, man, it's a mistake. Hey, when did you get here? How many minutes ago? Yeah, I just want to take it. I just want to take it. So really help me. Where are you coming from right now? I'm brother. I'm going to radio, I swear to you. You did the radio? Yeah. Or did you hear? No, I did the radio, but when it's on emotional. You brought me out to some over. Man, shit on my pants, man. You were dropping off, I don't know. You've seen this. What is this? Man, shit on my pants. Yeah, you know it? Yes, sir. Why? Okay. How long you been in San Antonio? It's 45 years. Okay, all right. Is this the phone? Yes, sir. Is it great? Is it great? No. Hey, I'm gonna let you come up. And I'm gonna allow you to clean yourself up. Yes, please. But the minute you back up, I'm not come to our before you go, man. I'm gonna let you. I'm gonna do it. Yeah. I'm gonna do it, man. All right. I'm gonna allow you to clean up. All right. Where do you want? Huh? Where do you want? Clean all that later. I'm gonna be sit up. Oh. Maybe you go see your pump, you know, what's this? You said 34. Let's do it our face something. Alright, this.
Causing seats exhibit at 4 minutes and 41 seconds. Officer Lush, did you count the currency?
Yes, ma'am.
How much currency did Mr. Martinez have on his person?
$4,180.
Resuming states exhibit at 4 minutes and 41 seconds.
Sir.
We're gonna secure it. You not understand what I'm saying? So don't get on your land already, so is not the next person going to get about myself, relax. Relax. And I'll explain everything to you as I we progress, okay? Relax. Not your argument. I'm gonna ask you again. Anything else you know, where you know, I don't have nothing. I'm gonna get money. Yes, it's pretty $50,000 something. How long you been at Since this morning, I'm in my car, sir. I'll get my car, I thought you were brothers. I was my brother, but I don't get my car. It didn't work out. I mean, it didn't work out. Okay. No? It's only I got, we'll talk about all that later. I'm gonna put you in the police car now. For what? But you're being detained, all right? I explained that to you. Sir, can I get myself? Sir, I'm not shitty. Can I get myself? No, get myself. There's no fail. Come on. Yeah, but why am I being detained?
You just a little.
Well, explain that to you in a second.
You have anything else?
No, sir.
No other
No,
matters?
sir. No, sir. No, sir. No, sir. No.
Causing seats exhibit at 6 minutes and 6 seconds. Officer Lush, did you ask Mr. Martinez how long he'd been at the bus station?
Yes.
Do you recall his answer?
I believe it was 20 minutes.
Did Mr. Martinez inform you what vehicle he was dropped off at the bus station in?
Yes,
What vehicle?
it was a light gray truck.
Resuming state's exhibit.
How did he get you? When did he drop you off?
About 20 minutes ago, sir. I just came in right now. About 20 minutes ago. About 20 minutes ago. What am I doing to saying, sir?
Just told you. We're gonna get there. Give us 1 second. Alright, your boss. What vehicle did he drop you off?
Then there's a little like a little kitty guy.
What color?
Huh?
What color?
Like great. Great. With that picture.
Good.
Bro, I'm gonna be out.
Pausing state's exhibit at 6 minutes and 47 seconds. Officer Lush, what happened next?
I believe we placed him in the back of the vehicle and I counted the money at the front of my vehicle.
Was Mr. Martinez ever told he was under arrest?
No,
Okay. Was Mr. Martinez ever transported from the bus station to anywhere else?
yes.
Where was he transported to?
I believe it was a 555 academic court.
That location?
It's the property room. There's multiple units that are there, but then there's a interview room there.
Was he formally interviewed?
I believe so.
Was he, was Mr. Martinez booked into the Bear County Jail on January 10th, 2024?
We brought him inside and then we took, then I was advised to take him out of jail.
So was he booked or not?
He wasn't booked. We brought him into jail and then they searched him and then I was advised by Detective Sigala to take him out of the, after, like, we never went to, and like, he never saw a judge there.
I pass the witness, Your Honor.
Defense?
Thank you, Your Honor. Is it Officer Lash or Detective?
Officer Lush.
Okay. Officer Lash, when you responded to the Greyhound bus station, you had no probable cause or reasonable suspicion with respect to the individual that was in that restroom stall, did you?
I was advised by a sergeant to go there and meet with Detective Sigala, and then I made contact with the Detective Sigala.
So you were there at the direction of someone above you, correct?
Yes, sir.
Not for anything that you had personally observed to involve reasonable suspicion or probable cause, correct?
No,
No, in that.
I didn't have any, like, I was just advised by the sergeant or
Okay,
anyone
great.
above me to make contact with him.
And so you walked in to the restroom and you see that Detective Sigala is peeking through the cracks of a restroom stall, correct?
Yes, sir.
And you come up, you approach Detective Sigala, and I'm sure you're trying to figure out why Detective Sigala is looking into a closed restroom stall door, correct?
At this point, I believe I was informed by someone, I don't know who, about there being a transfer of a kilo of
Transfer of what?
of a kilo of narcotics.
Okay, was that over the radio?
I don't remember, sir.
Okay, did you observe that?
No.
Okay, so you heard this from a source you cannot identify, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, but let's talk about what you did observe in that restroom by that bathroom stall door.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you did observe Detective Sigala is peeking through the cracks of the closed door of that stall, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Detective Sigala is also the person that's directing you at that point, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and in fact, it was Detective Sigala, while he's peeking through that door and observing the person inside, that he then motions you to kick the door in. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and then you complied with that request from him.
Mhm.
Okay. You did not observe a firearm on the defendant, correct?
After no,
Okay. You did not observe him destroying any evidence, correct?
no, because we couldn't see inside the restroom.
You couldn't see, but Detective Sigala could see, because you testified that he's looking through the crack at what is going on inside. You kicked the door because Detective Sigala told you to kick the door, correct?
Yes,
Okay. Not because of anything that you observed at the scene, correct?
yes,
Prior to kicking the door in, did you know the identity of the individual in the stall?
no.
When did you learn the identity of the individual in the stall?
When I had his ID,
And did you have a warrant when you pulled that ID from the individual in the stall?
no,
Did you have any exception to the warrant requirement for locating that ID?
I don't recall on that.
No, no exigent circumstances, right?
I was going off of what Detective Sigala, because he's been doing his investigation.
Exactly right. You're going off what Detective Sigala told you to do and nothing else, correct?
Yes,
And isn't it true that you never announced yourself as San Antonio Police Department or SAPD open the door?
no,
Never said that.
no,
In fact, you didn't say anything, correct?
no. Or yes,
It
I
was-
did not say anything.
It was Detective Sigala that was talking, correct?
Yes,
And Detective Sigala said, this is Greyhound. Can I see your ticket? Correct?
yes,
And then when the individual in the stall showed him the ticket above the door, Detective Sigala says, I need to see an ID. Correct?
yes,
Okay. And this is the Greyhound bus station in downtown San Antonio, right?
yes.
How many times have you responded to the Greyhound bus station for a problem?
I don't believe I have.
You never have? Is that your patrol area?
No, sir.
It's not? Okay. Well, I think you know that there's a reputation of that particular bus station for a lot of police calls.
I don't know, sir. I don't work that area.
So you wouldn't be able to opine about the safety of individuals inside the Greyhound bus station?
No,
You wouldn't be able to opine about the safety of individuals inside of closed stall doors with strangers knocking on the door?
no,
Well, you're at the Greyhound bus station and you're in the bathroom stall relieving yourself. Someone knocks on the door. Would you be a little leery of that?
I don't know. I can't say what he felt.
Well,
I've
I'm
never-
asking what you would feel.
I don't know what I would feel. I don't know how my day was going on that day. I don't know what I would feel because I haven't been in that situation.
Okay, so you're telling the court that you would not be a little bit leery about somebody knocking on a stall door that you're in?
Man, I would ask who it is.
Okay, and did the person in the stall door ask who that was?
I don't recall. I don't remember.
Would the video show that what happened?
Yes.
Okay, absolutely. The video would be, can we replay that video, please?
You got a ticket? Let me see it. Open the door, I see. Right, you have an ID?
Hey, brother, we got an idea.
Come on, come on, please.
Let's stop the video. Okay, so the person in the stall is asking for the ID of the individual that's knocking on the door, correct?
Well, I asked for their ID.
Did you
Oh.
not just hear that the individual in the stall is asking for the ID of the person knocking on the stall?
I didn't hear that. I heard me
Back
asking
it up
for
and
someone.
replay it.
Open the door, let's see. Right, you have my ID?
Hey, brother, we got an idea.
Hey, stop it. You have an ID. Who said that?
I believe Detective Sigala asked for the ID, and then I said we need the ID.
Ah, okay. But you would agree with me that the video is the best source for that, correct?
Source of,
Of evidence.
yes.
Okay, great. Thank you. I think you'd also agree with me that there was no attempt to give Miranda in this case.
I don't recall. When I was dealing with him, I don't believe we didn't we read Miranda to him.
Okay, so from your direct observation during your participation, you did not observe Miranda rights being read to the defendant.
Not that I recall.
Okay. And so just to be clear, you really kicked that door open because Detective Sigala motioned you to kick that door, correct?
And I could not see in there.
Okay, you couldn't see in there, but Detective Sigala could see in there, correct?
I can't testify to what he saw.
Well, you just said so earlier that he'd been looking through the crack of the door.
I mean, it appeared that he was looking through the crack, but I couldn't see what he saw.
Well, how wide was that crack?
I don't know. It was
Okay.
very small.
No, small, tiny? Are you saying it's tiny?
I'm saying it's small. I can't see all right there.
Excuse me, just one moment, off the record for a moment, please. And so we'll continue.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'll pass the witness.
All right.
Officer Lush, you on cross discussed the searching of the wallet in the bag of the defendant. Did you ask him if he could search?
Yes.
So you received consent?
Yes.
I pass the witness, Your Honor.
Any further questions?
When you asked the defendant for consent to search, isn't it true that the defendant is laying on the floor, correct?
Yes.
In a dirty bathroom, correct?
I don't know if I can't say if it's clean or not.
With fecal matter in his pants, correct?
I don't know. I didn't look at his pants.
Are you telling me you couldn't smell it?
No.
You couldn't smell it.
I don't recall what I smelled at that time.
Let's replay the video. Let's just restart.
Hurry up, open the door. Hurry up. What? You got a ticket? Yeah, I got a ticket. Who's it? Open the door, let's see. What? You have my ID?
Hey, brother, we got an idea.
Come on, take come on, please. Police, yeah.
Brother, open it.
Get out. I appreciate that. Okay, we're not doing that. What are you doing? What am I doing? Oh, thank you, man. Oh, man. She made sure I fucking get shit. Shit. Why aren't you opening it? I was touching shit. Look at you, my pants. Huh? I shit my pants.
Okay, well, we got a call for a suspicious bag. And all. What is in your bag?
Oh, my bag, yeah, man.
Wait, gotta check?
Yes.
Okay.
Man, look, I can really shit my mom.
Okay, you can stop the video. All right. So you've got a black wallet in your hand and you're looking at it. What is that?
Black wallet.
Yeah, whose wallet is that?
I believe it's Juan's. Or, yeah, the male on the floor.
Okay, and you got that before he gave permission for you to do anything, correct?
I believe, I don't know if it was in his backpack or if it fell out of his backpack. I don't recall on that. What I remembered is I thought I got it out of his backpack.
You're looking at it before he gives permission for you to do anything, correct?
On that, so we had to get him ID'd.
All you have to do is answer the question. You're looking at the wallet before he gives you permission to do anything, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, he does give you permission, though, to look in the backpack, correct?
Yes,
Okay, but he's obviously lying on the floor, correct?
yes,
In the bathroom, correct?
yes,
He's already indicated to you that he shed his pants, correct?
yes.
And are you telling this court that that's not coercive?
Coercive to ID himself or to place him in custody?
Okay, Officer Leash, if you are laying on a floor in a bathroom and you've shed your pants and you've got a man standing over you demanding to look in your backpack, what are you going to say?
I don't know what I would say.
You don't know what you would say. Okay. I'll pass the witness.
State?
Nothing further for this witness, Judge.
All right, is this witness excused or subject for recall?
Excused by the state, Judge.
If it please the court, excused.
All right, the rule has been invoked. You're not allowed to discuss your testimony with anyone until the conclusion of this hearing.
Yes, sir.
Judge, I'm sorry. I can't excuse him. He was further at the scene where another individual was arrested later in the day. So I do need to recall him for that.
All right, so if you'll just make sure that you remain here. My understanding is that this hearing will be concluded today. So if you just remain so that either party can recall you, but the rule is still invoked, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you. If you'll remove the square. All right, state, call your next witness.
Called Benjamin Sigala.
Thank you. Could you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Detective Benjamin Sigala.
All right, state, you may proceed.
Thank you, Judge. Okay, how are you presently employed?
Sorry, ma'am.
How are you presently employed?
The detective with San Antonio Police Department, currently with the Street Crimes Gun Unit.
How long have you been employed with SAP?
23 years. This will be my 24th year.
Are you a certified peace officer?
Yes, ma'am.
How long have you been with the Street Crimes Gun Unit?
I recently transferred over from the covert unit about 5 months ago or so.
How long were you on the covert unit?
A couple of years. I was on covert nights and then covert days and transferred over to the Street Crimes Gun Crimes Unit.
Do you have any special training pertaining to your duties as a police officer?
In a covert capacity, surveilling, stopping, suspicious activities, complaints.
As a part of the covert unit, do you investigate narcotics cases?
Yes, ma'am.
Generally, what does the covert unit do?
We investigate not just narcotics cases, but it can be property crimes cases, projects that come from the chief's office, whether wanted people. It could be a number of things, but narcotics is one of them. Yes.
As part of your duties when you were in narcotics, did you ever discuss drug trends with other narcotic officers?
Yes. During casual conversations, whether we're sharing notes in regards to complaints, about folks that are trafficking narcotics in a neighborhood or specific complaints, we may talk about what kind of drugs. Do they traffic a lot of drugs, small amount of drugs? It's just a number of things we share notes about.
Approximately how many narcotics cases would you say you've handled in your experience?
I couldn't say for sure, ma'am. I say a lot, but I can't put a number on it.
You said a lot?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. What, do you debrief individuals arrested with narcotics and gather intelligence about local trends in trafficking?
I make it a point to, when we have an arrest or when I have an arrest, to debrief the suspect. During course of debriefing, you may find out information in regards to other criminal activity that they may be involved in, or people that they know of may be involved in, and they're kind of in that same circle or know of that circle. It's just a habit of debriefing.
Have you done debriefs on few or many occasions?
Many occasions.
What was your assignment on January 10th, 2024?
I was working with the covert evening shift or evening unit.
Were you on duty?
Yes, ma'am.
What were the hours of that shift on January 10th?
On the evening shift, we started at noon, 1700, 5 o'clock in the afternoon till 03 in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning.
Are you familiar with the case under SAPD 24007209?
Yes, ma'am.
What case is that?
That's the possession with intent case of cocaine.
How did you become involved in that case?
I had received a complaint on a separate suspect. And I established surveillance on that suspect, obtained a license plate, and followed up maybe a week later or so with mobile surveillance on him. And that led me to this case. During surveillance, that suspect led me to this case.
Were you in uniform on January 10th, 2024?
No, ma'am. We work in plainclothes capacity and unmarked units.
Now, is working in plain clothes the same as being undercover?
Yes, ma'am.
Were you equipped with body worn camera on January 10th?
We do carry body worn camera on our heavy vest when we need to take action. But there are certain situations or circumstances where that would not be ideal for the case. So we would take our vests off or take the we would not wear our body camera.
So on January 10th, were you wearing your heavy vest then?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
I carry it with me. That's only to put on in case, a serious crime, or we're about to, whether it be search warrant, arrest warrants, we're executing those things, then we'll put it on.
And when you say carry it with you, do you mean carry it on your person or do you take it in your vehicle?
In my vehicle, yes.
Okay. What were you doing on the afternoon of January 10th, 2024?
I had I started my shift a little earlier than normal because I wanted to establish surveillance on the known suspects from a case before. So I started my day watching him. And during the course of surveilling that suspect, I followed him to a school where he was picking up his kids. Then from there, he continued on to the bus station and picked up the gentleman.
Okay, I'm going to stop you there. We're going to break it down a bit. So you stated you were conducting surveillance. Do you remember the address at which you started your surveillance at?
No, ma'am, I have to refresh my memory on the exact address.
Report in relation to this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Would viewing that report refresh your recollection?
I'm sorry?
Would viewing that report
Yes, ma'am.
refresh your recollection? And in this case, you wrote an incident report and a prosecution guide, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I'm handing you would have been marked exhibits M2 and M3 for identification. Will you please refresh your memory of the location and let me know when you have sufficiently done that?
Yes, ma'am. On my prosecution guide, the location where
Okay. So what did you observe at the Autumn Vista address?
I observed the suspect that I had information on. The walk out of his house, out of his residence, get in a white pickup truck, along with a female. They pulled out of the house and they drove over to a elementary school, middle school.
Stop you there. So you stated you observed this suspect. Why were you watching this suspect?
I had previously on a separate case, observed him deliver a pound of methamphetamines. And I obtained a license plate during surveillance of that location. And that plate registration led me to Autumn Vista. And during that suspect that delivered that methamphetamines at the Autumn Vista address, getting in that white pickup truck.
Okay.
And
I'm gonna stop you there. Hold on. Do you believe this suspect is engaged or was engaging in narcotics trafficking?
yes, ma'am.
Okay, and you stated there was a vehicle that you obtained a license plate from. What was the make and model of that vehicle? Do you recall the license plate of that vehicle?
No, ma'am, I have to refresh my memory to
You
get
can do
exact
that.
plate numbers.
Did you refresh your memory as to the license plate?
Oh, yes, I'm sorry. Is there, I guess, have a,
May I approach, Your Honor?
Yes.
Thank you.
Deputy Laura, we have everything here. I didn't know we had spare readers.
I'm sorry, I meant to bring mine. I didn't bring mine.
If they don't work.
Yeah, Chevy Silverado, white in color.
To refresh his memory for reading the report, but directly reading from the report to answer a question that's been asked is improper, and I object.
All right, that objection will be overruled.
Okay, so after you observed the individual get into the white truck, actually before that, do you recall, or I guess, can you describe what the individual that got into the white truck looked like?
He looked like a white male, heavy set, 5'11", just taller, white male, and the female, Hispanic female, adult.
Did the male get into the driver's seat?
Yes, ma'am. He got in the driver's seat, female got in the passenger seat.
Okay, what happened next?
They got in, they reversed, they pulled out of the neighborhood, out of Autumn Vista and onto Desert Vala, hit it over to I-10, and from I-10, they went over to the their children's elementary school, middle school. I forget, but they drove over there, and I stayed and maintained surveillance on both.
Okay, approximately how long was it from the home on Autumn Vista to the school?
It was the traffic in that area, a few minutes. It wasn't very far.
And then what happened, or I guess how many children were picked up?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
How many children were picked up?
Two children, two kids.
Okay, and then what happened?
He picked up two kids. They did maneuvered out of the school back on I-10, headed west, and I continued to follow.
Okay, when you continued to follow, were you the only individual following?
At that point, yes, I was still solo, following down I-10.
Did the vehicle make any other stops?
Yes, ma'am. It was as we got closer to Colorado Street. He had his turn signal to exit on Colorado, and I knew of a bus station there, the Omnibus bus station. Was transports folks from border towns usually to San Antonio. And during that course, is when I asked for other detectives for assistance.
Why did you ask for others?
It's been through my experience over the course of 23 years in training that these bus stations are used to carry narcotics from border towns to San Antonio on their way to their destination. So they carry them in their luggage or in the bags in the compartment of the bus. And so the red flags were there, from the onset because of the suspect involved in delivering a pound of methamphetamines to driving over to the bus station. It just, he's just checking the boxes as far as being involved or transporting or picking up narcotics.
Okay, so you state the bus, or no, I'm sorry, that the truck exited for the Colorado exit. Did he stop at the Omnibus Express station?
Yes, he did. He pulled into the omnibus station, reversed his truck right in front of the front door. I pulled in a couple cars behind. I pulled into the left. If you're facing the door of the building, I pulled into the left and took a parking stall
Okay,
with a clear vantage point of the front door and the pickup truck to my right.
did you make any observations?
Yes, ma'am. I saw a gentleman here exit the bus station after a few minutes, not very long. Exits the bus station to the front door, walks to the pickup truck and gets in the rear passenger of the pickup truck. And second boxes that were checked is he was not carrying any luggage, to stay or to leave, as though he was staying for a few days or maybe had stayed over there for a few days. So you check that box, hey, he's carrying a small bag, backpack type bag with a design on it. That's all he had. And I found that odd, but I also checked the box as possibly being involved at this point because of the fact he's not carrying any luggage or anything like that and jumps in the back seat of the truck.
I'm gonna pause you there. So you stated he was carrying a small backpack, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you describe that backpack?
It's a small bag. It may have been a smaller backpack. I described it maybe as a kid's backpack, but it just may have been a smaller backpack with a design. And I'm not sure on the design the bag had, but I'm trying to stay as covert as possible because I'm in really close proximity. But he was carrying a bag, color design on the bag, smaller, and he got in the truck.
Okay, and now, do you see the individual in the courtroom today that you saw exit the omnibus station?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you please point to him and identify him by an article of clothing?
Yes, ma'am. He's sitting right there wearing the orange jumpsuit.
For the record, the witness has identified the defendant. At the omnibus station, did you see the front passenger or the children exit at the omnibus station?
Nobody exited the truck. They all stayed in the truck. As the gentleman was exiting and walking towards the truck, he waved at the driver. He smiled, waved at him as if to, hey, as they know each other, before getting in, but nobody got out of the truck.
What happened next?
When he got in, they immediately left the parking lot, got back on I-10, and I continued to follow. They drove in the direction of the Greyhound bus station. And by this time, I have support from other covert detectives, so we're following, going down I-10 and then into downtown and over to the Greyhound bus station.
Okay. Now, do you recall the address of the Greyhound bus station?
No, ma'am, I don't recall the exact address now.
Is it in Bear County?
I'm sorry.
Is the Greyhound bus station in San Antonio?
Yes, ma'am, it is.
Is San Antonio in Bear County?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Approximately how far is the Greyhound station from the Omnibus Express station?
I don't know how far, exact miles, but it's a short amount of distance. It's not that far from Colorado into downtown. I mean, you're close, but I can't tell you exactly how far.
So as the bus moved from the Omnibus station to the Greyhound station, could you see how many people were inside the vehicle?
I can still see, yes, I can still see the driver, I can still see the female, and I can see this gentleman in the back seat.
Did you observe any movements inside the vehicle?
I can't tell you with absolute certainty that they were moving and talking, but I just could see silhouettes of people. As they entered the truck, they stayed and there was no stop, they didn't stop any other place.
Were the windows on this vehicle tinted?
I believe so.
Um, approximately how long? Well, I retract that. What happened once the vehicle got to the Greyhound station?
As he approached the Greyhound bus station, he pulled up where the bus terminal is at, where that bus is actually parked. He pulled up behind that parking area where the bus is stopped. Gentleman gets off of the back seat of the truck and walks inside the Greyhound. And I stayed with him. I parked my car. I left everything in my car, radio, everything, and I communicated by radio to other covert detectives that were assisting. And I gave direction to follow the white pickup truck, and it took off. And it was pretty quick. And he did drive at a fast rate of speed. That's the way he usually drove, but he dropped him off and he took off pretty fast rate of speed. Other covert detectives assisted in following it. And I got off on foot and maintained eye from the point that he was dropped off while he was waiting in the lobby. While he was in the lobby, he purchases a ticket. I guess another ticket back to Laredo where he's going, purchases a ticket, and he waits around in the lobby before going into the men's restroom.
Okay, I'm gonna pause you there. So do you recall approximately what time the Silverado arrived to the Greyhound station?
The white Chevy Silverado.
Yeah, approximately what time did it arrive?
What time? I don't know, ma'am. I couldn't tell you exactly.
Okay, but approximately how much time was between station 1, the omnibus, and station 2, the Greyhound, you said?
Yes, ma'am. But there was traffic. So there was traffic on I-10 giving into downtown. There usually is. So I would say 20 minutes, 15 to 20 minutes. I don't know.
Speculation. He's already testified. He didn't know for sure.
All right, that'll be overruled.
It was a short amount of time. It wasn't a 45-minute wait. It wasn't a 30-minute wait. It was inside of 30 minutes. And because in that time frame, other covert detectives arrived pretty quick, and we were able to get on him and follow him all the way to the Greyhound.
Based on your experience, are short car rides such as, picking someone up at one spot and dropping them at another, a short ride like that, is that consistent with narcotics trafficking?
Just the ride alone. I mean, short rides like that alone are, maybe the sale of narcotics, right? Smaller, but this was more of a trafficking, because he's dropping him off. He's picking him up at one bus station, dropping him off at another bus station, and he's getting a one-way ticket back. And again, he got off the truck with no luggage. He had nothing to tell me that he was staying a weekend or a week. Hey, I'm visiting, my brother. He had nothing, he's just an empty bag that he was carrying.
So taken alone, the ride is not sufficient, but taken, or I guess in consideration with other things you observe.
Yes, with other things. Yes, ma'am. With other things together, from the route that they were taking and what they were doing, yes, that would be more of a narcotics trafficking scenario. Yes.
Okay, what did you do once the individual purchased the ticket? What did you observe?
He purchased the ticket, and a few minutes later, I maintained constant eye on him in the lobby area. And after a short time, he walked to the men's room. During this course, I was asking for assistance from uniformed officers in order to make contact with him. So I was trying to get uniformed patrol or bike patrol in the area to help me contact the individual.
Why did you want the assistance of a uniformed patrolman?
I wanted to know, hey, it's police, first of all, for identification purposes, we're police. And make contact with him, identify him, ask him some questions, detain the individual.
Okay. Did you request proof of a bus ticket from the individual in the bathroom?
Yes, ma'am.
Why?
I wanted to find out if he was going back home, which in my mind, I believe that he was. Which checked the box of him coming down for a purpose and going right back. It was not a visit for a weekend or,
Was proof of the ticket provided?
I'm sorry?
Was proof of the ticket provided?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, at any point, did you announce as police?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
He was in the stall in the men's restroom and we identified as police, both in English and in Spanish. And I asked for a bus ticket, I asked for identification, before making contact with the uniformed officer.
did you request the individual to come out of the stall?
Yes, ma'am.
Did he follow your commands?
No, he stalled. He was there a little bit. And through my experience over the years, there's a safety concern there because he may have a weapon in his person, on his person. He may have additional narcotics for personal use, and he may be destroying it. He may be flushing it. He may be hiding it in the trash can. And I can't see what he's doing. And the level of the suspect involved in the narcotics trafficking, he's not a street level guy. He's more up in the chain, and he's involved in weapons charges and other. But there's weapons involved.
I'm gonna pause you there. You said he is in upper level trafficking. Are you referring to the other suspect you were surveilling, not this individual?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you also stated, you weren't sure what he was doing inside the stall, but you were looking through the crack in the stalls, correct?
Yeah, I was trying to see what he was doing. He was standing up. I could see his back. I couldn't really see what he was doing. And again, my concern that this guy involved with a upper tier guy may have a weapon. He may have a weapon. He may be trying to destroy evidence. I didn't want him to destroy anything, or hurt us, or hurt, for all safety, the safety of all parties involved. I gave direction to Officer Lush to push the door open and, let's detain him, to put handcuffs on him.
So prior to directing Officer Lush to kick the door open, do you believe you had reasonable suspicion?
Yes, ma'am.
Based on what?
Based on everything that I had seen from what I knew about the original suspect, the direction that he took, where he picked him up, where he dropped him off, no luggage, going back home, what he was doing in the stall, trying to avoid, not listening to direction. I think altogether, yes, I had reasonable suspicion to make contact.
Okay, so once you made contact, was the individual handcuffed?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, who handcuffed him?
I assisted Officer Lush putting cuffs on the individual.
Okay, did the individual identify himself?
Yes, during the course of the investigation, he eventually did identify himself.
What was his name?
Juan Martinez.
Okay.
And during the course of attempting to detain him, he kind of wasn't cooperative. We have to escort him down to the ground in order to put cuffs on him.
Okay. Was Mr. Martinez pat down at any point?
Yes, ma'am.
Why?
During the pat down, again, for fear of, or for suspicion of maybe additional narcotics, or maybe a weapon involved. Yeah, he was patted down. And that's when we discovered that he had a large bulge in his left pocket.
Okay, and what was that left bulge?
It was cash. It was $4,000 in cash in his left.
Is that amount a large or a small amount, like size wise?
Size wise, no, it was size wise, it was larger.
Like a sizable wad, I guess.
Yeah, it was a large wad of cash.
Based on your training and experience, may large sums of cash be consistent with narcotics transactions?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, did you ask Mr. Martinez how long he had been in San Antonio?
We were asking him, where he's coming and going. I think he said something to the effect of visiting a relative.
Yes, yes, Detective Sigala, but did you ask how long, time-wise, had he been in San Antonio?
I believe I did, ma'am, but I don't remember exactly word for word how I.
Do you recall his answer of how long he had been there?
How long he had been here? A short amount of time, just that brief time frame between the bus station to bus station.
Okay, would it surprise you to learn in the video that he stated he had been in San Antonio since 11 a.m.?
I'm sorry.
Would it surprise you to learn in the video that he informed y'all that he had been in town since 11 a.m.?
If that's what he said, yes. I don't remember exactly what he had said word for word. It's the time frame.
Okay, did you vocalize at any point that he was being detained?
Yes, ma'am, several times. And he asked, and I say, hey, you're being detained. I'll explain to you here in a minute. Give me some time. And he answered with, why am I being detained? I said, you're being detained. I'll give you an answer here in a minute. As we're escorting him outside the bus station and securing him in a patrol car.
Why did you secure him in a patrol unit?
In order to identify him first, let's get a good, let's run him. Let's get a good identification on the individual. If he's from here, if just to get hit, has he been arrested before? Just to continue on with the investigation of identifying and whether he's been involved in any other past crimes or any other incidents here in San Antonio.
Did you develop probable cause to arrest Mr. Martinez?
Yes, ma'am. During the course of simultaneously, I would say, during the course of contacting Mr. Martinez and escorting him outside, securing him in a patrol car, I'm relaying information about what we have, and the other group is relaying information about what they have. And it was discovered that there was a kilo of cocaine found inside a kid's backpack of the two kids that were inside the truck. They had concealed it inside a bag, I guess, and they found that on that stop during the course of us contacting Mr. Martinez.
Okay, so once you were advised that the suspected narcotics were found in the vehicle, you believed you had probable cause to arrest?
Yes, ma'am. When I learned about that, it was, it was almost at the same time. I think two separate investigations happening at the same time. I'm getting phone calls, I'm relaying information, they're relaying information. And at that point, yeah, we have probable cause for the arrest.
Did you inform Mr. Martinez he was under arrest?
Yes, ma'am.
What was he under arrest for?
For the possession of, or being involved in the possession of the cocaine.
Was Mr. Martinez transported to academic court?
Yes.
Was he ever formally interviewed?
Yes, we transported him over. My initial thought process was to transport him over to one of the interview rooms, academic court, to get a formal statement from him, Mirandize him, get a statement from him at that point. But my focal point was on the first suspect. That was my attention. And as we progressed, I determined that I didn't need to get a statement from him. And made other decisions after that. But I didn't go back and get a statement from him. I just determined my focal point was over here.
So you never went back and got a statement, so does that mean he was also never Mirandized?
Yes, he was not Mirandized by me. I didn't take an official statement from him.
Okay. Do you recall approximately when during your investigation at the Greyhound location you learned that a stop was conducted on the Chevy Silverado? Like temporally, do you recall when you learned that the Chevy Silverado had been stopped?
It took a little while for the Silverado to stop. It was going up by 10. The guy took a little bit to stop. So during the time frame of us contacting Mr. Martinez in the restroom to putting him in the patrol car, that's in that same time frame, I learned later that he didn't immediately stop. He kept going up by 10 before stopping at the Shell station over by Crossroads. And that's when we started relaying information. Hey, we've got this, this. Okay, we've got this guy situated, and this is what we have, just back and forth.
Okay, but you stated that it was near simultaneous, right? They
Yes,
were
ma'am,
at
yeah.
the same time. Okay. Did you ever make the scene of where the Chevy was stopped at?
Yes, ma'am. When I gave direction to Officer Lush to transport academic, I wanted to make the scene of the stop over at the Shell station, and determine, the identification, just verifying my investigation notes with what we had we had our stop and our contact over at the Shell station. So yeah, I made that scene.
Do you recall how far it was from the Greyhound station?
From roughly the Crossroads Shell station, Crossroads Mall area. um, into downtown. I don't know exactly how far it is. It's a short distance, but I couldn't tell you exactly how far. Few
What
minutes.
did you observe when you arrived?
I saw mark units and cover detectives. They were assisting me with supervisors on scene. A backpack, a kilo of cocaine taped in black plastic. And it was tested there in the field.
You said you observed a kilo of cocaine and it was wrapped in black plastic.
Like tape, I'm sorry, like tape.
Okay, tape. In black tape, is the way that it was packaged consistent in your training and experience with narcotics trafficking?
Yes, ma'am. We've seen large amounts of narcotics, either, black tape, brown tape, saran wrapped, different sizes, rectangular, square, it's just different colors, different sizes. It just depends on how they're smuggling it over in the compartments of vehicles. They're smaller, rectangular size, but there's bigger. It's just how these traffickers, are using vehicles or couriers. That's, I guess, I've seen different packaging types and sizes.
Approximately how large would you describe this package was?
I guess if I take the paper, the dimensions of the report here, and maybe thicker, but it's roughly the size of your paper here, and a few inches.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you observe the contents of the package?
When I made the scene, yes. It was open to be tested, and it would have white powdery substance inside the
So-
package.
That white powdery substance, what is that consistent with based on your training and experience?
Cocaine.
Based on your training and experience. Sorry. Based on your training and experience, is the amount of the substance present consistent with narcotics trafficking?
Yes, ma'am.
Approximately how much would you estimate was present at the scene?
At that time, roughly a kilo of cocaine ranges in price between $25,000 and $28,000. And the money that the individual had, Mr. Martinez, dollar figure may have been consistent with carrier cash, just for transporting the dope. He may have just got paid to transport the dope into San Antonio. But the kilo is between 25 and 28,000 at that time.
Does the price fluctuate?
It may fluctuate. It just depends.
Based on what?
The folks that are selling it, it's not uncommon for one, on past experiences that, hey, Joe is selling me a kilo at 24,000, and Ed, it has them over here at 28,000. They it's like a business, so they upcharge. So there's it's not a big fluctuation, but there's differences that I've seen.
Okay, so in your training and experience, does drug transactions require people in various roles?
Yes, ma'am. So you need we call them mules. You need the trafficker, the transport guy, the middleman making the deal, all the way up to the customer purchasing the narcotics. So altogether, the smuggler, the trafficker, the person making the purchase, down to the consumer, it's all part of I consider it the whole thing as a trafficking
Okay.
scenario.
Are all of those roles essential to the business of trafficking drugs?
Yes, ma'am, because again, it's in my experience in years past that you hear conversations from the cooks, from suspects, that say, hey, I'll get you your order. I'm using an example. We're finding people to transport it for you. We just don't have the people to transport it right now. So in my experience, is they're trying to hire people to transport said narcotics, to where they're going. And sometimes you hear that they're having a hard time, so it's not uncommon for them to be looking and paying folks $4,000, $6,000 or whatever the price is. Or maybe.
Okay, and are all of the various roles parties to an offense of delivery of a controlled substance?
Yes, ma'am.
So going back a little bit to when Mr. Martinez was detained, when you detained him, was your weapon drawn?
I don't recall.
Do you recall whether Officer Lush had his weapon drawn?
I don't recall.
You didn't have body worn camera, correct?
No, ma'am. I had taking everything off.
But Officer Lush had body worn camera?
Yes.
Have you viewed Officer Lush's body worn camera?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'm gonna play you what has been marked as State's Exhibit M1. This is Officer Lush's body worn camera. I'm gonna pause State's Exhibit at 34 seconds. Here we see a green light out of your pocket with an antenna. What is that?
The radio.
Okay, and then there's I guess a bulge to the right, or to the left of your right arm. What is that?
My service weapon.
Now, toward the middle of this screen, we can see the hinge of the bathroom stall door. Is that correct?
Yes.
How wide would you describe that gap is?
Very, very narrow. It's hard to see. You can see just small portions of a person's back standing up.
Resuming the State's Exhibit.
Now, what, you got a ticket? Do shit. Open the door, let's see. Right, you have an ID?
Hey, brother, we got an idea.
Come on, officer, come on, police, yeah.
Brother,
Pausing State's Exhibit in 1 minute and 1 second. So you announced Policia. What does that mean?
Police.
Okay, and at the time we see you obviously looking through the crack of the door, what could you see?
It's just just the back of a person. He's not facing me. I can only see small portions of a torso.
Are you able to see the entire area of the stall?
No, I couldn't see. And that was my concern there, is that, I don't know, he's, getting rid of, felony dope or has a weapon.
Resuming State's Exhibit. Well, actually, before that, while looking through the crack, could you see any belongings that Mr. Martinez had with him?
A bag?
Where was it?
I'm sorry?
Where was it?
I don't know. I can see just small pieces, so.
Resuming State's Exhibit.
open it.
Pausing State's Exhibit in 1 minute and 5 seconds. Now on the left, or I guess the right of the screen, what the mouse is toggling around, what is this?
It's the bag, ma'am.
Okay, and when the door was kicked open, Mr. Martinez's front side was facing which direction?
Facing away from me, facing the wall, the urinal.
Okay, and the bathroom, the toilet in the bathroom, was the seat up or down? Here where the mouse.
Yeah, it was up, just the way it is there.
Okay, resuming State's Exhibit. Rewind for a second. Resuming State's Exhibit at 59 seconds.
Open it. Yeah.
Pausing State's Exhibit at 1 minute and 10 seconds. So the screen glows black. Do you know why that happens?
It may have been because Officer Lush is, moving it, maybe his arm covered the lens of the camera. And it's not uncommon for that to happen. Earlier models or attachment devices for the camera would fall off, and now, so it's not uncommon for, I would see, over the course of going to Exxon, it's just, at first they wouldn't stay very well. They'd fall off the uniform when you get into struggles like this, or as you're moving, you're putting your arm in front of the lens and it covers. So that's not uncommon.
Okay, do you recall whether Mr. Martinez had anything in his hands?
I'm sorry, if Mr. Martinez
Do
had,
you recall whether Mr. Martinez had anything in his hands?
I couldn't, I don't remember if he had anything in his hands. I just couldn't see his hands. I couldn't see him. And there was a concern there for me.
Okay, resuming state's exhibit.
What am I doing? What am I doing? Oh, I can't even get it. Come on, man. Shit, baby, shit, I'm fucking dead. Shit. Shit.
So we see you here, get on your phone. Do you recall who you were talking to or what happened?
I was receiving and yeah, may have been receiving or making calls, checking with the other group because like I said, the other group is simultaneously making contact with the other suspect.
Okay, and at the top right corner, what time stamp does it have?
16:55 hours.
And what time is that not in the?
4:55 hours, 4:55.
And what do we see here in Officer Lush's hands?
It appears to be the wallet belonging to the Ms. Martinez.
Okay, resuming state's exhibit at 1 minute and 37 seconds.
Why aren't you open again?
I was into the shit, look at shit on my pants.
Huh?
Shit on my pants.
Okay, well, you got a call first, there's a bag and all. What is in your bag?
Oh, my jacket, man.
My
I got
check.
yes. Man, look, I really shit on my pants, man.
What happened?
She keep me in the back.
Nobody keep in the back. I saw you.
Nobody keep me in the back. She keep me in the back. That look, I shit on my pants, man, okay? That's not okay.
What do you want?
Man, you can't get anything. There you go. Man.
Calling state's exhibit, Detective Sigala, did Mr. Martinez tell you where he was coming from?
He got picked up at a bus station. But he wasn't forthcoming about where he was going.
Did he tell you who he was with?
A brother, a relative.
Did you observe? Actually, never mind, I retract. Resuming state's exhibit.
Shit, man. Man, shit on the box of bread. Shit, man, it's a Steve.
Hey, when did you get here?
20 minutes ago.
20
I
minutes ago.
saw the ticket, that somebody helped me. Really helped for me. My brother. I'm going to read, I was going to eat. You didn't read it? Yeah, I didn't get here. No, I didn't read it, but it is on most of it. Okay, probably on some other. And shit on my pants, man. We were up low, I don't know, we're seeing this. Shit, man, shit on my pants. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay, how long you been in San Antonio? This morning. This morning, I figured. I saw 11 o'clock, only one brother.
Okay, all right. Is this your phone, bro?
Yes, sir. Is it late? Is it late?
No.
Hey, I'm gonna let you come up. And I'm gonna allow you to show up. That's pretty solid. But the minute you act up, I'm not out, counselor, I'll get before you go, man, I'm gonna let you. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that. All right, I'll be officers, I'll be cleaned up, all right? Whatever I do wrong, whatever I do wrong, just think all that you can do. Sit up, you sit up. Oh, thanks. Everything else you want, you know, what's this? So now, you do that, all right?
This is my money, sir.
Well, then secure it. Do you not understand what I'm saying? Don't get argument, nobody's not, this is not the last.
I just wanted to buy myself.
Relax, relax. And I'll just bring everything to you as I will progress, okay? Relax. Not get argumentative. I'm gonna ask you again. Anything else you can tell me, I didn't know.
I don't have nothing. I don't
How's
have
that catch money?
Yes, it's pretty fucking thousand something.
All you did is that.
It's this morning, I'm gonna buy a car, sir. I'll get my car,
I thought you were your brothers.
I was my brother, but I don't to buy a car. It didn't work out. I mean, it didn't work out. No?
I know, we'll talk about all that later. You're the police fire down. But let me detain, all right? I explained that to you.
Sir, can I get myself? Sir, I'm not shitty. Can I get myself? Can I get myself?
That's not fair.
Why am I being detained?
Holding States exhibited 5 minutes and 46 seconds. Mr. Martinez in the video states that he was dropped off by his brother. Based on your knowledge and I guess investigation of the suspect you were surveilling, did you know that individual to be the brother of Mr.
Objection,
Martinez?
relevance.
That'll be overruled.
No, it was not his brother. And during the course of this interaction, it's just checked into the box. He had no clothes in that backpack. He wasn't staying here. He wasn't traveling or anything like that.
When Mr. Martinez was handcuffed and laying on the ground, you were patting over his clothing. What was the reason for that?
Just make it a habit of patting, make sure there's not any weapons, drugs, weapons, stuff like that, primarily weapons.
So was that done for officer safety?
Yes, ma'am. It was primarily for the safety of myself and all parties involved, to include Mr. Martinez.
Okay, I pass the witness.
Defense?
Detective Sigala, back on January the 10th of 2024. How long had you been working for San Antonio Police Department?
21 years.
Any other jobs prior to that?
With the police department, as a patrolman, I worked with the Tactical Response Unit, TRU, in the early 2000s. Then I worked with the gang unit, gang detail, then gang unit as a patrolman. After that, I promoted to night CID. I spent some time with these property crimes. I went over to covert nights. I went over to covert days, and now I'm at street crimes gun unit.
And how long were you with Covert prior to?
Roughly 2 years, sir.
Say again?
Roughly 2 years.
2 years?
Covert nights, 1 year. Covert days, another year.
Okay.
Roughly.
And then you said you left Covert when?
I left to covert, or I
Yeah,
left
you said
covert.
you left the Covert unit. When did you leave the Covert unit?
5 months ago. I just got the street crimes gun unit roughly 5 months ago, 6 months ago. And then-
Okay, so you went from the Covert unit back to street crimes, correct?
The street crimes, gun crimes unit, the detective portion of that unit.
Okay, and why was that move made?
Because I wanted to get back into investigations.
Was it
Not to say that
voluntary
this
on
is
your
not an
part to move?
investigation, but into specific investigations.
Was it voluntary on your part to make that move?
Yes, sir, absolutely.
You weren't directed by someone above you to make that move?
No, sir.
So if I pulled your personnel records, I wouldn't find any?
No, so you can pull
Any
it, that's
issues?
fine.
Okay. All right, very good. So you're surveilling Ryan Westbrook, driving this white Chevy 4-door Silverado truck, right?
Yes, sir.
And you watch him go pick up his kids, and then you watch him go to the omnibus station, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you testified that the omnibus station is a area of known narcotics activity, correct?
It is a method of how drug traffickers, or a avenue that drug traffickers use to transport narcotics.
Okay, so you couldn't cite to any number of police reports that have detected the presence of narcotics at the Omni bus station, correct?
No, sir, I cannot.
Are you familiar with the Omni bus station? Have you been there before?
I've been to other bus stations like that during interdiction. In my course of my tenure here, done some interdiction type contacts at these type of bus stations.
Okay, and you're familiar with the approximate or with the location of the Omni bus station as compared to the Greyhound bus station, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm gonna approach you and show you a map. It's identified as Defense Exhibit 12. Could you take a look at that, please?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Can you identify the Omni bus station on there?
It's off of Colorado, sir. Colorado
Okay.
10.
Is Colorado depicted on there?
It's yes, North Colorado Street. And
Okay, and can you recognize where the Greyhound bus station is at?
yes, sir.
Defense, it's the court's understanding that you're asking that defense exhibit number 12 be admitted, which is a map. State you have no objections?
Correct, Judge, no objection.
All right.
Yes, Your Honor, that's correct.
The defense number 12 is admitted without objection. In defense, it's still your cross.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
Should he put an M in front of it? Do you want to put M so the record will reflect this is just for the motions hearing?
I've got no problem with that, Judge. We'll just write it onto the sticker.
All right, so it will be defense exhibit M12. All right, in defense, you may proceed.
Detective Sigala, have you been to the Omni bus station more than once?
No, sir.
Okay. Would you recognize pictures of it if I showed it to you?
Yes, sir.
Let me, Judge, may I approach?
Yes.
I'm going to show you what's been identified as M Defense 10 and M Defense 11. Just like you to take a look at those. Tell me if you recognize them. They're illustrative, not necessarily for the dating question.
I don't recognize that one, sir.
Okay?
This one looks familiar. Just change it a little bit. Familiar.
Okay. I'll move to admit Defense Exhibit M10. Said you didn't recognize it.
Any objections?
No objection, Judge.
All right, defense exhibit M10 is admitted without objection.
Judge, may I approach it?
Yes. Thank you.
Okay, so Detective Sigala, I think it's safe to say that during the entire course of this evolution, with respect to this defendant, you took no photographs, you took no video, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. And did you go back to the Omni bus station to ask them if they had any video cameras at the station?
No, sir.
So you made no request for any video from Omni bus station?
No, sir.
Did you make a request for any video from the Greyhound bus station?
No, sir.
So you have previously testified that you observed Mr. Martinez get off the bus at the Omni bus station, wave at the white Chevy Silverado, and then go get in the rear passenger seat of that vehicle, correct?
Yes, sir. Vaguely that he waved, he made a gesture as if to smile, as if he knew the individual.
Okay. You were never, and with respect to the rear passenger compartment of the Silverado, it's heavily tinted, correct?
I would say heavily it's tinted. I don't
It's tinted,
Say,
okay.
I can't say if it's heavily tinted.
It's tinted to the point where you can't really see what's going on in the back, correct?
I can see silhouettes of folks in the back, yes.
Silhouettes, all right. Now, you also indicated that you responded to the scene of the arrest of Ryan Westbrook, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And did you see the Chevy Silverado at the Shell gas station?
Yes, sir.
Did you see the backpack that the drugs were discovered in?
I saw a backpack.
Okay, you saw a backpack. Do you
Yes.
remember what it looked like?
No, sir. I know it had a design on the backpack. I don't recall exactly what it was, but there was a backpack.
All right, very good. So in your report, and you say you've been doing this for 21 years, so you know that you had to have everything material in your report, correct?
In this instance, I didn't feel that.
In this instance, you did not do that?
In this instance, I didn't feel that I needed to go. If you're referring to getting surveillance video, if that's what you're asking, I'm not sure.
Well, does a gang surveillance video exist?
I'm sorry, not surveillance video. Video from the bus stations? Is that what you're asking? If I went back and followed up with getting copies of videos? I don't know what you're asking.
Okay. Well, let's just move on then. So with respect to your report that you published on this particular case, that's what I'm referring to. Your written report? You
Yes,
remember
sir.
that? Your written report? You reviewed it a little bit earlier?
Yes, sir.
You remember doing that?
A little. I glimpsed at it. I didn't really
Okay.
go into detail.
All right, good. But I mean, you'd agree with me that you're taught and continually reinforced to put everything material in your report when you publish it, right?
Yes and no.
Yes and no? Okay, so are you testifying that you routinely leave out material?
No, I don't.
Issues in your
I don't
report?
leave out material that's pertinent to the case. No, if that's what you're asking.
Okay,
I put material in my report that's important to the case.
all right. So you described the backpack as being colored kids looking backpack. And where did you make that observation at?
When I was at the omnibus station, it had a design like a kid's backpack, like a color design.
Okay, and what color was that?
I don't recall.
Red,
I don't recall.
blue,
I don't recall.
yellow?
Sir, I just said I don't recall.
Okay. So really, it's no description at all, correct? Other than it's a backpack.
At this
Oh.
point, it's a smaller looking backpack with a design on it.
Okay. All right. And do you remember what color the backpack was where the drugs were discovered in?
I don't recall.
Don't recall anything about that?
Once I got to the scene, they showed me a backpack,
What did they show you?
a bag with maybe a floral design on there. I don't know. And the narcotics sitting on top of the bag.
Okay. All right. But that's not the description of what you saw at the omnibus station.
I'm not certain, sir, because I could say I don't recall exactly what design, what color, exact description or what was on the bag.
Okay, and it's certainly not the description of what we saw on the video that Mr. Martinez had at the bus station, right?
I don't recall that.
Okay, very good. So you testified that based upon your training, education, and experience that you considered the fact that Mr. Martinez walked off one bus and got in a car and then went to another bus station to be characteristic of drug transactions. Is that not correct?
That he was picked up at one bus station and transported to a second bus station with a known drug trafficker that I had made a case on previously. Together, yes.
Okay, so, and you say that we're talking about Ryan Westbrook, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and you had made a previous case on Mr. Westbrook?
Not on him directly. It was on a separate suspect that he delivered methamphetamines to.
Okay. Separate suspect, but you had never previously arrested Ryan Westbrook?
Before that, before this, no. He
Okay,
was under investigation on the delivering the
all right.
large amount of methamphetamines.
Now, you previously testified about the worth of street drugs. Yeah, do you read any DEA or Fusion Center intelligence reports?
No, sir.
You don't read any of that?
It comes across in my emails and, I may glimpse at one or two, but in depth and something that I'm interested in. No.
So how did you fix the value on January the 10th of 2024 of cocaine on the street? How did you fix that?
When as I testified earlier, when other detectives, we, talk to each other about cases and street value, what people are paying, we compare notes and from field context, we ascertain that that's what these suspects are saying, and we share notes, and those numbers are affixed to.
So it's
I'm not finished there. To the intelligence that we gather from the suspects that we have in custody at that point.
are you done now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you had no state or federal government report or instrument that fixes the value of street drugs at any given time?
No, this is all by shared information from other detectives and from previous arrests, debriefs of individuals, like I said, is what we determine some of these prices to be.
So it's word of mouth.
Intelligence gathered from suspects that we have in custody. Not necessarily word of mouth, it's from intelligence we gather.
Okay,
It's coming directly from suspects.
all right. Is there, and there's no document that you can refer to that's published by the federal or state government, or even local government that would fix the value of street drugs at any given time, correct?
Correct.
And additionally, since you can't cite a document that fixes the street value of drugs, you really can't cite a document that establishes what is the going price for a mule to transfer drugs from one location to another. Is that not correct?
That is correct, yes.
So you're opining of what value would be attached to 1 kilogram of cocaine for its actual street value, or for the transport of that particular level of drugs. You're opining as to value associated with either possession of or transport of is suspect.
I'm sorry, are you asking a question? I don't understand your question.
Okay. But you have no basis for saying, no scientific basis, no state-sponsored basis, no government-sponsored basis for establishing either the street value of 1 kilogram of cocaine or what the price would be to transport 1 kilogram of cocaine at any given time.
To answer your question, no. But again, as I testified, that this is all from notes, suspects, debriefs,
Right.
cooperating witnesses, we could say.
Word of mouth. Correct. Word
Cooperating
of mouth.
information, intelligence gathered from cooperating, not just arrestees, but cooperating suspects.
Okay. And so I think it would be safe to say that based on your direct observation at the omnibus station, that you had a suspicion that that individual that you observed was a mule.
I had suspicions that a narcotics trafficking scenario was occurring
Okay.
as I was surveilling.
but no circumstantial that's connected to the case. No circumstantial evidence, no confidential informant that said that Mr. Martinez was on the way up from Laredo with drugs.
No
right?
informant, it's just all based on observation, surveillance, prior case knowledge.
That did
And
not involve Mr. Martinez, right?
does not involve Mr. Martinez, but just everything together incorporated, whether it be trainings, experience, doing this type of work in the past, what I'm seeing before my eyes, putting it together that, hey, this is what this is.
All right. Now, you've indicated to us that you followed the Chevy Silverado down to the Greyhound bus station, and that you broke off with Westbrook at that time, and you followed Mr. Martinez into the bus station, right?
Yes, sir.
And you observed him buying a ticket, right?
I maintained eye on Mr. Martinez in the lobby area for a short time before he bought or went over to the kiosk.
All right.
Okay.
And just one second. So if no parties have any objection, I'm going to go on recess at this point, and we will come back at 1:30 to conclude this hearing. The rule has been invoked. You're not allowed to discuss your testimony with anyone until this hearing has concluded. And defense, the other witness who testified, if you need him to come back, just let the state know so they'll have him here.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank
All
you
right.
so much.
All right, thank you. And we'll come back at 1:30. And that way your client will have a chance to have lunch. All right, we are going to continue with this hearing and defense. I believe you have the witness on cross and you're still under oath, Detective.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you may continue.
Thank you, Your Honor. So you really started your investigation back in December, end of December of 23, right?
In December, sometime in December.
Sometime in December?
Yeah, November,
Okay.
December.
So you got intelligence that Ryan Westbrook was dealing in contraband at that time, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Did you have any reports from the Fusion Center or from the federal government that supported that?
No, sir.
Okay, just from a confidential source?
No, sir.
No confidential source? So what pegged you to Mr. Westbrook? What brought Mr. Westbrook to your attention?
Like I said, he was observed. At that time, I hadn't identified him yet, but he was observed delivering a pound of methamphetamines to a residence. I did a little research into the vehicle that he was operating, and it led me to him. And he matched the description of the guy I saw that day, so I established surveillance at his current residence.
Okay, so there was a separate case involving methamphetamine. And that's what led you to start your investigation on Mr. Westbrook.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And well, what was your confidence level on Mr. Westbrook being a drug dealer?
Being a what now?
A drug dealer.
Drug dealer?
Mhm.
Well, I mean, it raised suspicions just, as far as the what the case, what we yielded that day, the methamphetamines. I mean, he delivered nearly a pound of methamphetamine. So
Was he using the same Chevy Silverado to deliver those methamphetamine?
no, so I testified earlier that it was a red Dodge Durango.
Red Dodge, okay,
Yes, sir,
so a
yeah.
different vehicle.
Separate vehicle, yes.
So again, what was your confidence level that Mr. Westbrook was dealing in drugs at the end of December?
Well, I established surveillance in order to follow up on my suspicions, and it yielded a kilo of cocaine.
Okay, so you didn't establish surveillance until the 10th of January?
Yes, sir.
All right.
I have other projects. At the time, we were tasked with looking for burglars. It's a holiday season, so we're tasked with other projects.
Okay,
So my project could be pushed back a little bit. So that's not uncommon.
All right. So do you
Specifically
think
during the
that
holidays.
Mr. Westbrook was dealing drugs between when he did the methamphetamine and when you picked him up on the 10th?
I'm sorry, that's your question again, sir?
Sure. So do you think that Mr. Westbrook was dealing drugs between the methamphetamine case and when you arrested him on the 10th of January?
I can't say with 100% certainty that he was or was not, but was he involved?
Yeah.
Maybe. Maybe.
Okay, maybe. All right. Well, then is it is it also reasonable to assume that that 1 kilo of cocaine was already in the Silverado when he met Martinez?
Objection calls for speculation.
That will be overruled.
Sorry, ask your question again, sir?
Isn't it reasonable to assume that Mr. Westbrook already had 1 kilo of cocaine in his vehicle when he met Mr. Westbrook?
No, sir.
Based on what?
Based on the knowledge I had of him delivering methamphetamines at the time, he's more of a, the way he operated is more of a middle upper, but it's kind of a middleman where he transports, delivers, picks up. He's in that chain. I guess we call it that supply chain.
Well, why wasn't he in the supply chain earlier in the day?
You want me to guess or?
Well, I mean, you're guessing now though, right?
No,
You're
I'm
guessing-
no, what I'm giving you an answer as to, what I see and what I observe. And based on what I see and what I observe, and I compared to previous cases, previous knowledge, how, suspects operate at his level versus street folks, users on up the chain. And he was different. So I'm just speculating on his behavior, how he moved, what he did on that he was picking up. And again, his behavior pattern was more of an interdiction stop because he fit the criteria of a person involved, and it took that type of rep to understand that maybe this is a good interdiction stop because he's, with the knowledge that I have, the way he's operating, what he's doing, his behavior, manners, and what he's doing is it kind of fits in the drug trafficker category.
Okay, are you done yet?
Yes, sir, I am done.
Okay, well, you still can't state with any sort of certainty whatsoever that that 1 kilo of cocaine was not in the drug prior to him going to the omnibus stop, right?
Objection outside personal knowledge of this witness.
I'm so sorry. Could you repeat your question, please?
I said that he could not state with any amount of certainty that the 1 kilo of cocaine was not already in the vehicle when he went to the omnibus station.
And your objection?
Well, our objection would also be asked and answered, but outside of the personal knowledge of this witness, he was not in that vehicle.
All right, that objection will be overruled. You can answer the question.
Without seeing it direct, I can't say that he had or had not the narcotics with him prior to.
Okay, fair enough. When you pulled up to the bus station, the omnibus station, did you go inside the omnibus station at all?
No, sir.
So you can't state with certainty that the bus that showed up at the omnibus station was in fact from Laredo. Is that not correct?
Well, there's several buses. So I don't know which one's coming from Laredo, which one's coming from Del Rio.
Okay, but you made the assumption earlier that the bus that Mr. Martinez was on was from Laredo, correct?
That I'm making that statement in the fact that I found out later that that he was going to Laredo. So he was coming from Laredo, he was going back to Laredo. And through questioning Mr. Westbrook and going down that road with him, he confirmed that this guy comes from Laredo, brings said dope, and goes back to Laredo.
Okay, but that's after the fact you talked to Mr. Westbrook, right?
Yes, sir. That is it.
At the time that that bus pulled into that station, you really didn't know where it came from. Is that correct?
As far as Laredo, Del Rio, is that what you're asking?
Yes.
No, I did not know.
It could have been.
At that
from
point in time, at that point in time, I did not know.
Okay, all right, very good. Did you see Mr. Martinez get off the bus at the omnibus station?
Did I see him get off a bus at the omnibus station?
Correct.
No, sir.
You did not.
No, he walked out of the main entry exit of the building.
Ah, okay. So you're really unsure as to whether he was ever on a bus or not. Is that correct?
Through my experience, I can
No,
can
from
say
your
that-
actual knowledge,
So
sir.
if you let me speak, if you quit interrupting me, I'll tell you, and then you can ask a question. From my experience,
Judge, would you instruct the witness not to be argumentative?
All right, so this is what we're gonna do. If everyone have a question, answer the question, and then another question will be asked. All right, so defense, can you re-ask your question?
Yeah, so you really have no knowledge that Mr. Martinez was ever on a bus. Is that correct?
no direct knowledge, no.
And when you say direct knowledge, you mean your own personal knowledge, correct?
I mean, I wasn't in the bus stop, observe him getting off a bus coming from Laredo.
And you've already testified that you did not go back to the omnibus station to do any sort of investigation, correct?
That's correct.
Okay, now in your encounter with Mr. Martinez at the Greyhound bus station, the ticket that Mr. Martinez purchased, where was that ticket for?
I didn't look at it personally. I didn't really take a good look at the ticket.
Okay, so you don't know if Mr. Martinez was going to Laredo or Pleasanton or Dallas. You don't know the destination on that ticket, right?
Objection, Judge. I mean, this is outside the scope of probable cause or the defendant's voluntariness of the statement. It's also, yeah, it's just outside the scope of the motion.
I believe, and if I'm incorrect, please let me know. My understanding is the defense is asking that. Just one. All right, they are asking that what's to be suppressed. They're asking that, oh, are you able to hear me? I'm sorry. According to the defense's motion, they're going to be asking that any statements their client made be suppressed and the arrest be suppressed. Is that correct?
That's part of it. Yes, Your Honor.
All right,
Absolutely.
So the and that's what's in their motion. So the objection will be overruled.
Your Honor, if I also may say to the court that that door has already been opened by the detective's prior testimony about characterizations of mules and about that of their destination as being Laredo. We have no evidence before the court that it's Laredo.
Okay, all right, so, oh, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, Judge, I feel that's a mischaracterization. The way Laredo came up was his client saying he was coming from and going to, but.
All right, so the objection will be overruled. He can answer the question. All right, you may proceed.
Okay, so what time was the ticket for?
I'm sorry, I didn't look at the ticket specifically. I didn't look at the time. Any of the details on the ticket, I didn't look.
Did not look
What
at
it
the
said.
details. So you really can't, from the stand today, testify that it was even for that day. Is that not correct?
At that time frame, that moment in time, I couldn't say with certainty that he was going back that day. It's not until after the fact that he started telling me what he was going to do, where he was going.
Okay, well, after the fact is not.
And that's
what I'm
part of,
interested
I'm sorry, go ahead.
in. But at the time, you didn't know whether that was for that day or a week later or a day later, correct?
That's correct, but that was part of the investigation as to how long he was going to be there. He had no luggage to stay there more than a day. So it kind of, not kind of, but it did fit him, his behavior being involved in the trafficking of narcotics.
Can you cue up that section for me? I'm going to show you a screen grab from what's already been admitted to the record by the prosecution. Just run it slowly till it gets to 09.
Brother, I need it.
Come on, please. Policía.
Brother.
Detective, you testified earlier that the gap in the door was so narrow you really couldn't see what's going on in there. Yet we're taking a look at this video now. What is it that you see on that video for a gap?
You can, I didn't say you couldn't see. I said I could see partial silhouette of a person behind the door. There's a bag that hugs, but you can see him standing over the urinal, facing towards the urinal.
Isn't it more convenient for you to say that, gosh, I can't see anything through that gap, so now I've got probable cause to enter because he's destroying drugs, he's got a firearm? Is that not correct?
Objection argumentative, Judge.
All right, that will be sustained.
Yeah, I'm done with that. Okay, on your police report, you indicate on page 2 of your report, Juan was arrested and handcuffed for resisting detention. So he was under custodial arrest, correct?
At the time, he was resisting, and we considered that, yeah, but it was, to me, he was detained for the investigation into the narcotics trafficking case.
But your report, after 21 years of experience, you wrote in your report, arrested, correct?
Well, yeah, he can be arrested, he can be detained.
And then you further go on to say, during a search incident to arrest.
Yes, sir, I wrote that report later.
And are you telling this court that's not a custodial arrest?
All right, so we're going to go off the record for a moment. And so what we'll do is, defense, if you'll re-ask your last question, and then you'll have a chance to answer it.
Yes, sir.
Judge, real
Yes.
quick, if I'm the one interrupting, maybe it'd be better if I put my microphone down since Lauren's taking charge here.
Oh, no one's interrupting. What do you mean?
Oh, like if I was just talking too loudly and Cindy's picking it
No,
up.
this is question and
Everybody.
answer. This is what I can tell everybody. What Cindy is taking down is what she's able to hear from you guys through the mic. And it's specifically for her to be able to hear you because she has the headphones on.
Okay.
All right. Okay. All right. So defense, if you could ask your last question, please.
Judge, if the court will allow me, I'll back up just a little bit and we'll see if we can't approach it from a little bit different direction.
Oh, no problem.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor. Detective, were you aware of the time frame in which Mr. Westbrook was stopped?
The exact time frame, no.
Más o menos.
The exact time frame, no. I can only guess that these two investigations were happening simultaneously.
Okay.
So in the time frame that we're contacting Mr. Martinez, there's being contact made with Mr. Westbrook. But it's just, if you're asking for exact time frame, I can't tell you that. I wasn't at their crime scene.
So what was the time of the incident in the bathroom involving Mr. Martinez? You know?
Can I look at the body cam?
Absolutely. Can you show it to me? Can you show it to me?
All right, you all may continue.
All right, thank you, Your Honor. Okay, so we've seen from an already admitted piece of evidence that what's the timestamp on that video, if you would, sir?
It was $16.55,
On what day?
110:24.
Okay. Do you agree with that?
That's what it reflects, sir.
Okay, good. Now, that's you in the background, right?
Yes, sir.
And you're on your phone?
Yes, sir.
Do you remember who you were talking to?
It was a number of people. I don't know. I couldn't tell you
Did
definitively who it was.
Status update on Westbrook's arrest?
Yes, wait, if I was talking to the DI supervisor, somebody, yeah, I would have been getting status updates.
Okay, I mean, without getting into the actual, who said what was the impression that you got at that time about what Westbrook was up to?
The impression that I got from the other
Yeah, from
group,
the folks you were talking to, what impression did you get as to status of Westbrook?
it ranged from they're following, they're stopping, they got them stopped, they found drugs. I couldn't tell you where in this video, what happened in what order.
Okay, so safe to say you don't know about Westbrook's status at that timestamp.
I was trying to get updates during this course, the interaction here.
Okay, all right. I want you to take another look at M3. And is M3 your report?
Yes,
Okay, and the event start date and time, what's that? Upper right corner.
January 10th, 2024, 21:30 to 22:30.
Okay. And over on the left-hand side, what is the report date and time?
January 18th, 2024, just after midnight, 4 minutes after.
Okay, so at least 7 days from the date of the event to the date you wrote the report, correct?
Yes, sir, that's what it reflects on.
Okay, so don't you think within 7 days you could get the language within your report like you want it to?
Direction argumentative.
That'll be sustained.
So again, in your report, you have written Juan was arrested and handcuffed for resisting detention and placed in a marked patrol unit. Then during a search incident to arrest, more than $4,000 was found in his front left pants pocket. Is that what you wrote?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you say in your report that you discovered that incident to his arrest. And you appear to indicate, well, first of all, is that true?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And it seems to intimate that you discovered the $4,000 search incident to arrest. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let's play the video back from when he comes out of the stall.
What am I doing? She makes sure I'm fucking shit.
Why aren't you opening it?
I was saying shit about that.
Huh?
I said about that.
Okay, well, we got a call first.
Okay, stop. Okay, now that's Lush's hands that we see in the foreground, correct?
Yes,
Okay, and he's got a wallet in his hand, correct?
yes.
Okay, and that's Mr. Martinez's wallet, right?
I'm assuming so, yes.
Okay, continue.
And all, what is in your bag?
And that's Mr. Martinez's butt that was sticking out there, wasn't it?
I'm sorry?
I mean, Mr. Martinez's naked butt is sticking out in that video, right?
Can you rewind that?
Yeah, rewind it just a bit.
Okay, well, we got a call for a bag and all. What is in your bag?
It looks like it's his lower back.
Okay, so is his rear end is not sticking out in that?
It appears that his sweater came up. That's his lower back.
Okay, all right, let's continue on, please. Let's stop for a second. So you can't deny that Lush is already looking around in his bag, right?
No, he's looking at his bag there.
Yeah, and he's got his wallet in his left hand, right?
Yes, sir.
Let's continue.
Shit, man. And shit on my box of born. Shit, man, it's a Steve.
Hey, when did you get here?
About 20 minutes ago.
20 minutes
Yeah,
ago?
that's how you guys all I think. That's all I think. Somebody help me. Where are you coming from now? I'm my brother. I'm going to Laredo, that's what I need. You live in Laredo? Yeah. No, I live in Laredo, but Laredo is most of it. And you drove down this number. Yeah, shit on my pants, man. We were dropping off. I told her, oh, the person has man, shit on my pants. Yeah, you know, sir. Okay, Gary, how long have you been in San Antonio? Awesome. It's 40 class years. Yeah, my seventh, so, yeah, no, I only have a brother.
Okay, all right. Is it your brother?
Yes, sir. You're brave. You're brave.
No.
Hey, I'm gonna let you come up. And I'm gonna so far, this piece of it, but we didn't crack up. I'm not, I'm sorry, I'll get before you go, man, I'm gonna let you, yeah. I wanna live with that, all right, you all are friendly, all right, yeah, all right. But whatever I think about, whatever I do, well, I'm paying all that to you later. I'm gonna be set up. Oh, okay. Everything else you want, so, what's this? What's this?
Would you stop the video, please? Okay, and that was you reaching into his pockets and finding the cash, correct?
I believe so, sir.
All right. So I guess that's a pretty extensive Terry frisk, huh?
Objection argumentative calls for a legal conclusion.
All right, that'll be overruled. You can answer the question.
He had a bulge in the pocket and it yielded the large wad of cash.
Judge, can I confer with the state for a moment?
Yes.
Can we call him out of order?
Yeah, I was planning on calling the national concern for 6:20.
Yeah, okay.
Open that mail.
Okay.
You don't know.
Okay, Your Honor, I'll pass the witness.
State,
No further questions for this witness, Your Honor.
all right, is this witness excused or subject for recall?
Excused by the state.
If it please the court, is excused.
All right, the rule has been invoked. You're not allowed to discuss your testimony with anyone until the conclusion of this hearing.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome. If you'll leave, if there's any exhibits, whether they were entered or not, if you'll leave those with the court reporter, please. Thank you.
Based on your training and experience, what did the contents appear to be?
It had a white, more solid, but also powdery at the same time substance.
Was the contents, or I guess, were the contents of it compressed?
Yes.
What did you do next?
Usually when whoever's in charge of either collecting and photographing and testing the evidence, which is mostly the detective assigned, to collect the evidence, either field tests it.
I pass the witness, Your Honor.
All right, defense.
Briefly, Your Honor. Detective Waters, you testified that when you showed up to the Shell gas station on January 10th, that Ryan Westbrook and his daughters and his wife were already pulled over. Is that correct?
Yes, they already had been pulled over at that time.
And they were already out of the vehicle?
I believe they already had been out of the vehicle, yes.
Okay. Do you recall if officers at the time were searching the vehicle already?
I believe so, yes, sir.
Okay. And Mr. Martinez was not at that scene, correct?
No, he was not present that I can recall.
And prior to you arriving at the Shell gas station, you didn't observe Mr. Martinez interact with Mr. Westbrook at all?
I was not present at that. We had heard information, but I hadn't
But you
physically
didn't.
seen, no, sir.
Okay. And so were you the one who initially opened that backpack that you just testified?
I think yes, because it was already closed when I came to it.
Okay. And within that backpack, Lauren, would you call it? I think it's M6. Appreciate it. And so, Detective, the state pointed out to you that little Mega Blocks, I guess, pad folio thing in there, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You testified that's where you found the alleged narcotics?
Yes, to my knowledge, I believe that it was concealed in there.
Okay, and those other documents in there, that's homework?
Yes, homework, yes, sir.
Schoolwork, right?
Yes.
Something along those lines? You didn't find any identifying items of Mr. Martinez's within that backpack, did you?
No, sir, nothing that I would, if you're trying to say like anything that could link him to it, no.
Okay. And also, when you opened that backpack, you weren't wearing gloves, right?
Most of the time we are wearing gloves, but I can't recall like if I was at that moment.
Okay. And also, when you found the alleged narcotics, I'll represent to you that you weren't wearing any gloves at the time.
Okay, I mean, yes, if that's what is there, then yeah, I wasn't wearing any.
Okay. Also, you didn't dust it for any fingerprints?
No, and myself, no, particularly no.
And then you didn't swab it for any sort of DNA of Mr. Martinez's?
If the person that collects the evidence could have swabbed it, I'm not sure, because I wasn't the one that collected the evidence and processed it.
Okay. You testified that you were a plainclothes officer back on January 10th?
Yes, that's most of us in our group are plainclothes.
Yes, sir. And so on that day, you weren't wearing a body worn camera?
We are traditionally wear body worn camera attached to our outer vest.
So do you recall if you were on that date?
Most of the time, but I haven't time to review whether or not there was a body cam linked to that case particularly.
Okay. And so, Detective, if you weren't wearing gloves that day, which again, I'll represent to you that you weren't, and you handled that, the alleged narcotics without the gloves, you wouldn't be able to swab it anymore for Mr. Martinez's fingerprints, correct?
No, that isn't correct because it just, I mean, they would still swab it or even, do some blatant prints to, if that's what they, if that's what the case agent, Detective Sigala would request, but I mean, doesn't affect or, or tamper anything if that's what you mean.
Okay, so your fingerprints being on that package wouldn't affect it at all? Or
No, because that was my first initial dealings with it.
And Detective, you'd agree with me that the SAPD standard operating procedure is to wear gloves when handling evidence, correct?
I've read the general manual for processing evidence, and I'm not sure if there's a standard procedure for wearing gloves when that's usually for crime scene investigators or CSIs.
But you would agree with me it's the best practice to wear gloves in order not to contaminate or I would.
Yeah, that is a common practice. Yes, not to alter or I guess tamper with any type of crime scene.
Okay. Judge, I'll pass the witness.
All right, state.
Officer Juarez, defense counsel on cross discussed the wearing of gloves with you, and you had previously testified that would be the job for CSI. Who is the CSI person in this case?
I couldn't recall who actually collected or like the photographs of the exhibits. I'm not sure who actually took or collected the property at that time. But most of the time, whoever is tasked with that duty would most of the time either wear gloves or process the evidence at that time. I believe if I can recall, I know there was the detective Justin Ramirez, I know was out there, and I believe he might have collected the evidence, if I can recall.
Do you know Justin Ramirez to be a CSI?
No, he's a plainclothes detective, but he is also experienced with collecting and processing evidence, as he has had training with the crime scene duties.
No further questions, Judge.
Judge, may I approach?
Yes.
Thank you, Your Honor. Detective, I'm gonna hand you what's been previously marked as defense M6 and M7. If you could take a look at those.
Yes, sir.
Do you recognize defendants M6 and M7?
The backpack itself specifically?
Well,
Yes.
just do you recognize what the images are?
Yes, I think that's my hand.
Okay, so this is still shots of your body worn camera. You'd agree with me?
Yes, sir, that is a still shot because it's directly in front of my chest.
Okay, and you'd agree with me that that's a fair and accurate depiction of the events on January 10th of 2024?
Yes, sir, it's accurate.
Okay, Judge, I'd move to admit at this point defense M6 and M7.
Any
No
objection?
objection, Your Honor.
All right, defense M6 and 7 is admitted without objection.
Thank you, Your Honor. And so, Detective, I'm going to leave those with you for just a second. So now that you can see a screenshot of your body worn camera that day, you would agree with me that you're handling the alleged narcotics and that you're not wearing gloves, correct?
Yes.
Okay, Judge will pass the witness.
Any further questions?
Nothing further from the state, Judge.
All right, is this witness excused or subject for recall?
We're excused by the state.
Excused by defense, Your Honor.
All right, the rule has been invoked. You're not allowed to discuss your testimony with anyone until this hearing has concluded.
Yes, ma'am, of course.
All right, thank you. If you'll leave the exhibits with the court
Yes,
reporter.
ma'am, of course.
Thank you. Have a great day. All right, state, call your next witness.
State calls Matthew Raster.
All right, if you'll put the square microphone on, it's for the court reporter to hear.
Oh.
Yes, just anywhere on your lapel
Oh,
or somewhere.
yes,
It's
ma'am.
for her to hear through her headphones. All right, could you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I swear.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Matthew Raster.
All right, state you may proceed.
Thank you, Judge. How are you presently employed?
I'm employed as a detective with the San Antonio Police Department.
How long have you been with the San Antonio Police Department?
Almost 13 years.
What have been your assignments over the past 13 years?
I worked crew dog watch, crew T shift as a patrol officer, central T shift as a patrol officer. I worked at rope as a patrol officer, covert as a patrol officer, and covert as a detective.
What was your assignment on January 10th, 2024?
I was a patrol officer at covert.
What are your duties as covert patrol officer?
As a patrol officer working for covert, you assist detectives with their investigations. That could mean making a traffic stop for them, an investigative traffic stop, assisting as uniform presence on search warrants, assisting with apprehending individuals wanted on misdemeanor and felony charges.
Were you on duty on January 10th, 2024?
Yes, I was.
What were the hours of your shift on that day?
The hours of, I believe we flexed that day, so I believe we came in at 1 or 2 in the afternoon. And it's a 10-hour shift, so we're probably done by 11 or midnight.
Were you in uniform on January 10th, 2024?
I was.
Were you in a Merc Patrol unit?
I was.
Are you familiar with the case under SAPD 24007209?
I am.
What case is that?
I believe it was a possession of a PG1 over 400 grams.
How did you become involved in that case?
I became involved in that case by assisting a detective with a traffic stop.
What was the name of the detective you were assisting?
Detective Ben Sigala.
At about 4:50 PM, did you observe a white Chevy Silverado?
I did.
What drew your attention to that vehicle?
The vehicle was following another vehicle too closely on the highway, and also there was driving above the posted speed limit.
When you first observed that vehicle, what highway or street was it traveling on?
Interstate 10.
Where was your car in relation to that Silverado when you first observed it?
I was behind that vehicle.
Approximately how far?
An educated guess, I would say around half to 3/4 of a mile.
Okay, what is the posted speed limit for IH 10?
65 miles per hour.
Approximately what speed was the Silverado traveling?
I believe that Silverado was in excess of the 65-mile-per-hour speed limit. I don't know which detective was around that vehicle, but they had told me over the radio that they believed the vehicle to be doing traveling at approximately 85 miles per hour in a 65-mile-per-hour zone.
Did you have to accelerate your vehicle to catch up with it?
I did.
Did you have to exceed the posted 65 speed limit?
I did.
Was the Silverado's speed constant?
It was.
Was there other traffic present on the highway?
There was.
Over what distance or period of time did you follow the Silverado before you decided to stop it?
I had to estimate how long it was. Well, around a mile, maybe a mile and a half.
Okay, what did you do to indicate to the vehicle that it should pull over?
I activated my overhead emergency red and blue lights.
Did the vehicle stop in a safe manner in place?
It did.
Where did the vehicle stop?
It was a gas station at Crossroads in Interstate 10.
Do you know approximately how far that Shell station is from the Greyhound bus station?
I think around 7 miles.
Were you equipped, or you testified previously you were equipped with a marked patrol unit, correct?
Correct.
Is that patrol unit equipped with, I guess, Axon or video on board?
Correct. Coban.
Coban, excuse me.
Yes.
To your knowledge, was it operating properly on January 10th, 2024?
Yes, it was.
May I approach?
Yes.
This is M4, and then this is M9, 10, and 11.
Judge, for the purposes of this hearing, defense is not going to have any objection to the admittance of states M4, M9, M10, and M11.
All right, and state you're offering those?
Yes, Judge.
All right, states exhibits and 4, 9, 10, and 11 are admitted without objection.
Thank you. Permission to publish?
Granted.
Officer Raster, I want you to stop me when you see the Chevy Silverado in the frame.
I apologize. The video is a little grainy.
You can see on this one.
It should be that one directly in front of me.
Okay.
I'm so sorry. If there's no objection, because I don't know what he's pointing at, do you all object to him standing so I can see which one?
I've got no objection, Your Honor.
All right, if you could show me which vehicle you're attending to, please. All right, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
You need these exhibit at 28 seconds. Causing states exhibit. I know it's grainy, but when I resume it, can you tell us what is reflecting in the tailgate of the vehicle?
So what's reflecting is the overhead emergency lights, the red and blue emergency lights on my vehicle, on my patrol vehicle.
Do you recall the names of the streets that the vehicle is passing on the right?
Don't recall the name of the streets. I believe the one coming up here should be Delview. I believe it's Delview. And that would be the one that was just passed.
So I'm gonna pause state's exhibit at about 2 minutes and 37 seconds and publish to you. State's exhibit. Number 9, M9, excuse me. Let me push that document.
Of course.
Okay, so this is a still from your Cobian video, correct?
Correct.
What is the date and timestamp that we see in the bottom right-hand corner?
January 10th, 2022, 2024 at 4:52 PM.
What does that time translate to in military time?
That would be 16:52.
Okay. Now, state's exhibit M10, what is the make and model of this vehicle that we see on the left of the tailgate?
So Chevy Silverado.
Okay, and what is the license plate, if you can see? I know there's a glare.
RNP 6854.
Did you make contact with the driver of the vehicle?
I did.
How did you make contact?
I exited my patrol car, walked up to the driver's side of the vehicle, introduced myself, and provided the reason for the traffic stop.
What reason did you provide?
Driving over the posted speed limit. And I don't know if I told the driver he was following too closely to the vehicle, a vehicle in front of him.
Okay, do you recall how many occupants were inside of that vehicle?
There were 4.
Where were these individuals and can you describe them?
There was an adult female in the front passenger seat, an adult male driver. There was a juvenile female in the back seat behind the driver and another juvenile female behind the passenger in the back seat.
When you made contact with the driver, did he have his window down?
He did.
Okay, did you smell anything?
Yes, as I was talking to the driver, I could smell an odor of burned marijuana.
Was it strong, light? How would you describe the strength of this?
It was strong.
Did you ask the driver for his license?
No, he handed me his license as I walked up.
Did you ask the driver out of the vehicle at any time?
I did.
Why?
I smelled the odor of burned marijuana.
Did you conduct a probable cause search of the vehicle?
I did.
What did you base your probable cause on?
The odor of burned marijuana.
Did you conduct a full search of the vehicle by yourself?
I began conducting a search and several covert detectives had arrived on scene and began searching the vehicle. I don't believe I searched the entire vehicle myself.
Did you search any backpacks?
I don't recall.
Do you recall who else assisted with the search?
I know Detective Juarez and I believe Detective Ramirez.
Okay. Now I'm going to show you states M11. This is also a screen grab from your Cobian video. Is this the driver of the vehicle?
This is the driver of the vehicle.
Can you tell me the timestamp at the bottom of the screen?
4:57 PM.
Okay, and that would translate to 16:57:48.
Correct.
And on the hood of the car, what do we see?
Black and white backpack with sunflowers on it.
And was that placed there after it was removed from the vehicle?
Yes.
Okay, what happened next?
I believe either Detective Juarez or Detective Ramirez searched the backpack and found narcotics.
Did you observe the narcotics?
I did.
What did it look like?
It was a brick that looked about the size of a kilo And it was, I believe, wrapped in black plastic or tape.
No further questions. I pass the witness, Judge.
Brief, Your Honor.
You may proceed.
Thank you. Detective Raster, on January 10th of 2024, the first time you ever came into contact with these folks was when you initiated the traffic stop, correct?
Correct.
You were not at a Greyhound bus station, conducting surveillance,
No,
and you weren't at the Omni bus station conducting surveillance,
no,
correct?
sir.
And when you pulled the vehicle over, you testified that there were 4 occupants. There was a male and 3 females, correct? My client was not among those occupants, correct?
No, sir.
And you also testified that you found, I guess, that backpack that the state showed you, correct?
I did not find that backpack. I believe detective, or one of the juvenile females had it on her as she got out of the vehicle. And I told her to put it up on top of the car.
Okay, and I kind of want to backtrack here. Lauren, could you cue up that first? I think it states M9. It's the very first one. Was in the gas station. Yes, that one. Thank you. Detective, I'm showing you what's been previously introduced as states M9. That's the truck you pulled over, correct?
Correct.
You'd agree with me that there's some pretty heavy tint on the back window there, correct?
Correct.
And it would be tough to see inside that vehicle.
Correct.
And so as you're searching the vehicle, you didn't find any identifying items of Juan Martinez within that vehicle, correct?
Not that I recall, sir.
And do you recall there was tint on the side windows too? Is that correct?
I believe there was, sir.
Okay. About the same coloration, pretty dark.
I believe so, sir.
Judge, may I approach the witness?
Yes.
Thank you, Your Honor. Judge, at this time, defense would move to introduce, for the purposes of this hearing, defense exhibit M2 and M3.
No objection from the state, Your Honor.
All right, defense exhibits M2 and M3 are admitted without objection.
Thank you, Your Honor. And so, Detective, I'm going to hand you what's been admitted as defense M2. That's a still shot of your body worn camera. Is that correct?
That's correct, sir.
And you'd agree with me that it's a juvenile female holding that backpack?
Yes, sir.
And that's the backpack where the alleged narcotics were found?
Yes, sir.
And now I'm going to hand you defense M3. And those are the 2 juvenile females that were in the vehicle?
Correct.
And the one in the, let's call it a cream sweater, she was the one holding that backpack, correct?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. Your Honor, I'll pass the witness.
State,
No further questions for this witness, Judge. He may be excused.
excuse defense.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, the rule has been invoked. You're not allowed to discuss your testimony with anyone during the pendency of this hearing. And if you'll just leave the square with the, on the bench, and then whatever exhibits are up there, if you hand those to the court reporter.
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you.
The spelling of your last name.
Raster.
All right, state, call your next witness.
State has no further witnesses, Your Honor.
Defense, any witnesses?
Your Honor, could please the court will rest and close.
All right. And state, do you close?
Yes, Judge.
All right, are both parties prepared to proceed with argument, or do you need a little of a short break before you proceed with your argument?
Can I have a short break?
Yes, all right.
And- Is Officer Lush released?
Yes.
Still out there?
Yes. Yes, they rest in close. So what I'll do is we will come back at 3:20, and so you all can discuss, defense counsel, you can discuss among yourselves, your argument, and state you can do the same. If you need more time than that, just let the court know.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Are the parties ready to proceed?
Judge, because the state has the burden, we'd ask to reserve for rebuttal.
Defense, you may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Would you like me to stand or sit for this?
Sit.
Thank you, Your Honor. Judge, there's no warrant on this case. There's no specific articulable facts for an arrest in this case. I know the court has to look at the totality of the circumstances surrounding the incident, but that's Mr. Martinez's specific articulable facts. And really, the business with Westbrook was provided to the court to give some idea as to where the state was coming from, because Westbrook is the guy with the drugs. But for Mr. Martinez, the state can't even tell you if he was ever on a bus. The state can't tell you, the detective can't tell you specific articulable facts about the bag that Mr. Martinez had. The state follows him to another bus station. The state can't tell you the destination for the ticket that he purchased. They can't tell you the date the ticket was for. They can certainly tell you he went to the restroom to go to the bathroom. They can certainly tell you that. And we can see that on video. However, they went ahead and then the lead detective in the case tried to play himself off as a Greyhound employee to determine the identity of Mr. Martinez. And that failed. That was on video. He was peeking through the gap. I think that's an invasion of his privacy. I mean, a restroom stall, what could be more, what would the general public and the law recognize as being a right to privacy more than your own home? It's got to be a restroom stall. Not a urinal, but the actual stall itself with the door that closes and a door that locks. But law enforcement, the detective in this case, he chose to go ahead and peek through the gap, and the court can see the video and see what the gap is. And then he directs the law enforcement officer that's in uniform with him to break the door down. Why? Why did he do that to break the door down? What specific articulable facts did he tell you in order to be able to do that? Well, there weren't any. After the fact, it's, we were afraid he's going to destroy evidence, or we thought he had a weapon. And of course, neither of those developed. But the actual facts that should have been articulated to the court for them to be able to legally do that, it's evaporative. It's not here. The privacy interest that he had in the stall should outweigh anything that they did. Where was the consensual encounter in this case? The detective surveilled him into where he bought the ticket. Objectively speaking, why did the detective not encounter him then consensually that did not require a warrant? May I continue, Your Honor?
Oh, yes, I'm still
Okay.
listening.
So he has the opportunity in the main area of the bus station to do a consensual encounter and attempt to determine identity at that time, but he does not do that. Instead, he waits, and Mr. Martinez, he goes to the restroom. He has to go. So he's in the restroom, his pants are partially down, and now somebody is knocking on the door and asking for his ticket. In the Greyhound bus station in downtown San Antonio, Texas. Would that make you fearful? It would me. It would make me fearful. Mr. Martinez asked for identification. No one said SAPD police please open up or open up. Instead, it was, oh, we're with Greyhound. And then Polisica. And then they kick the door in. What are you to believe if you're sitting there in that stall with your pants down? What are you to believe? Well, they broke the door open. They dragged him out to the floor, his pants still down, handcuffed him. Oh, do you mind if we look in your bag? Well, that's not a consensual request. That's a coercive request for that set of circumstances. No one in their reasonable mind would say that that was a consent search. The Terry frisk. There was no Terry frisk. There was a flat out search of his pockets for whatever they wanted to search for. The discovery of a lump in the sweatsuit of his pants. No one testified that that was a weapon or contraband, but he just reached in and pulled out that money. Again, an illegal search. But more egregious than that, Judge, is that really this entire evolution was meant to determine his identity. It was a search, an illegal search to determine his identity because the detective didn't know who he was. And so you have his identity being illegally discovered. You have the search of the backpack that's an illegal search. And you have the search of his person that's an illegal search. And what did it turn up? It turned up identity. It turned up his funds. And both of those should be suppressed, Judge. What happened with Westbrook at the Shell station has nothing to do with Mr. Martinez. What happened in that bathroom stall has everything to do with Mr. Martinez, because that detective did not have any legal reason to do what he did in the Greyhound bus station. There were no specific articulable facts that would ever support what that man did. That being said, he could have done a consensual request, and then we wouldn't be here. Not on a motion to suppress. I was respectfully requesting that the court suppress the determination of his identity and also suppress the money that was found on his person and the arrest in general. And I thank the court.
All right, State.
Thank you, Judge. So, Judge, in response to the defendant's arguments, first of all, whether or not there was a consensual encounter, an arrest, a warrant, anything like that is irrelevant to this. What we are talking about is whether the officers acted legally or illegally under 38.23. And specifically, looking at the defendant's motion as well as the argument, it breaks down into three factors: whether there was an arrest or detention, whether this was a custodial interrogation, and the voluntariness of that interrogation. And I would first like to make the court aware of Castro v. Texas, case citation 373 Southwest 3rd 159, if I may approach the court.
Which one?
Castro. So, Judge, this first case gives us a quick overview of Terry and his progeny, as well as investigatory stops. And basically, just like in Terry, where a person was seen looking through a window, not once, not twice, but 3 times, all of those instances taken separately can be considered innocent behavior. When taken together, though, they cause real suspicion that criminal activity is afoot, just as what happened here. But more than that, the state needs to show a reasonable articulable suspicion that criminal activity is afoot because of specific articulable facts. And here, the facts that led to the suspicion of Mr. Martinez being involved in narcotics trafficking are legion. First, he was seen getting into a vehicle with a known narcotics trafficker. He was also seen driving with that person. He had no luggage with him. He was only here for a short time. He had a round trip. All of those are conducive with a courier that is bringing narcotics from one destination to another. And because of that, the detectives and the police could reasonably suspect that Mr. Martinez was somehow involved. Now, reasonable suspicion doesn't need a high burden. It only needs specific articulable facts, and those are here. Specifically, it also goes into whether a detention is reasonable. The court says that there are a number of factors to consider, including the amount of force displayed, the duration of the detention, the original location, as well as the officer's expressed intent. Here, the amount of force displayed was he was handcuffed. He was handcuffed because he was in a concealed location. He was not responding to commands. He had gone silent. And any law enforcement officer will tell you that there is nothing scarier than a locked door. So because they feared that there was a weapon that could be being readied or involved, as well as the possible destruction of evidence, it allows, through exigent circumstances, for them to then enter that bathroom stall. Further, before they kicked in the door, they did announce, "Policía, policía," which in Spanish translates to police. The duration of detention, it lasted, I believe, no more than an hour or two. The original location, during the whole detention, Mr. Martinez was initially kept at that location until he was moved to another area. Now, when he's moved, we will concede that that is conducive to an arrest. But while he's there at the bus stop, while he's there in the bathroom, he is only 3 feet away from the place where he was detained. So we would argue that he was kept at the original location that he was detained at. And then the officer's express intent. Detective Sigala says on the video multiple times, "You are being detained, you are being detained, you are being detained." And the defendant even acknowledges that. He asked the officer, "Why am I being detained?" Not "Why am I being arrested?" "Why am I being detained?" So it's not only the officer's expressed intent, it also communicates to the fact that the defendant knew that he was not under arrest, that he was being detained.
But isn't the detention isn't it based upon a reasonable person? It is not necessarily whether or not the accused believe they're being detained or not?
So the detention is based on objective standard, but the subjective knowledge of the defendant does go towards other things I'm going to get to, as like the custodial interrogation and the voluntariness of that interrogation.
Okay.
Which I'll get to in a moment.
All right, so let me just ask this quick question.
Of course, Judge.
Because I'm just trying to understand everybody's arguments. So are you saying if somebody is handcuffed, and let's just say hypothetically, they're held in an interrogation room, and because an officer says you're being detained and the person is like, "Oh, why am I being detained?" then that means it's a detention and not an arrest?
In certain aspects, Judge. And if
Okay.
you'll turn in Castro on the second tab, the court even states an individual may be placed in handcuffs, especially for safety purposes, for the purpose of investigatory stop. So just because someone is in handcuffs does not translate a detention into an arrest.
Okay.
A person can be detained and handcuffed at the same time for safety purposes. And in this case, the officer said that there were safety concerns because they were concerned he was in a locked stall. They were unable to see what he was doing, and he may or may not have had a weapon. And they even communicated this, they testified to this when they did the Terry frisk. Which brings me to my second point, the custodial interrogation. Now, 38.22 of the Code of Criminal Procedure states that no statements that were made under custodial interrogation can be allowed into evidence unless there are certain prerequisites set. However, looking at the case law, there is no custodial interrogation involved here. If I may approach the court.
Yes.
With Herrera v. State, case citation 241, Southwest 3rd, 520. And Judge, I would point your attention to the tabbed and highlighted section of that case.
And I'm sorry, you may have mentioned this, but what reasonable articulable facts are you relying on to say that there was suspicion that a crime had been committed or that the accused would soon engage in criminal activity?
Of course, Judge. It was the fact that this investigation began with Ryan Westbrook. He was seen driving to the omnibus station. He then picked up the defendant who had no luggage, who had no overnight, anything like that, got into his vehicle, goes from the omnibus station over to the Greyhound station. It's a short distance, and then gets out again with no luggage, anything like that, ready to go on to his next destination. And the person that he was traveling with was a known drug trafficker and already had an active investigation with SAPD involving narcotics trafficking. So using his training experience, the detective reasonably concluded and suspected that criminal activity may be afoot because of omnibus station being a possible avenue of smuggling routes, of the short duration of the trip, of the fact that the defendant had no luggage or anything overnight that would be conducive to a long trip. It was basically, it all translated to the fact that the defendant was coming and going within a very short period of time. If I may continue. Okay, so in a head of the state, the Court of Criminal Appeals lays out that custody only applies if, under the circumstances, a reasonable person would believe that his freedom of movement was restrained to the degree associated with a formal arrest. The key part of that being a formal arrest. Here, the defendant's own words say, why am I being detained? Why am I being detained? Not under arrest. And further, he was not under arrest because he was not taken off site until much later. He was questioned in the bathroom, which was again close to the original location of the detention. So, Judge, we would argue that there were no reasonable circumstances that the defendant could believe that he was under formal arrest. And in fact, his own words communicate that he was not under the impression that he was under arrest. So because of that, we would argue that 3822 does not apply because it only applies to statements obtained during a custodial interrogation, to which there was not here. And lastly, Judge, we go to the voluntariness of any kind of confession, which will be State v. Terrazas, case site 4, Southwest 3rd, 720. If I may approach the court.
Yes.
So,
Of course. It's going to be Terrazas, Terrazas. And here, Judge, I would again point you to the highlighted and tabbed portions. So regarding voluntariness of a confession or any statements, the defendant initially has the burden to bring up the question of voluntariness. But once we get there, the state need only rebut it by a preponderance of the evidence. And Judge, whether something is voluntarily or freely given comes down to whether coercive tactics were used. And the case law defines coercive tactics as anything that is enough to overwhelm or overcome the normal mental faculties of a reasonable person. And here, there were no coercive tactics that were done. There was no testimony that weapons were drawn. There was no testimony to physical blows. I think the only reason they raised their voices was because they were trying to talk to the defendant, who was also raising his voice. Now, is he handcuffed during that? Yes, he is, of course. But there is case law that states that if he's handcuffed, even during a detention, that is not enough by itself to be considered so coercive as to overcome someone's mental faculties. And finally, Judge, all of this comes around to the probable cause of the arrest. So while the defendant was detained in the bathroom, we can see on the video that Detective Sigala was on the phone. He received information that the person that the defendant was riding with had been found in possession of a large amount of narcotics. And that would give him enough probable cause to show that a crime has, is, or will be committed.
Sorry.
Oh, it's okay. So because of that, Judge, we have shown you that 38.22 does not apply because this was not a custodial interrogation under the case law. Further, 38.23 is not triggered. All of the actions of law enforcement were done within the confines of the Constitution and in case law. There was no legal action on behalf of state actors. So because there's no legal action, 38.23 is not triggered. The exclusion rule does not apply. And Judge, we respectfully request that you deny the defendant's motion to suppress.
Thank you, State.
Thank you, Judge.
Defense, it's your motion, so you have final argument if there's anything you wish to add.
Judge, if you're going to entertain the cases that the state has put before it, I'd recommend that the court look carefully at the entire reading of it. I believe the citing that the state is using on those particular cases that it's not on point. There are quotations within these that are on point concerning specific articulable facts concerning whether the defendant believes that he's in custody or not. The distinction between a detention and a custodial arrest are lost upon the general public. That's for us to decide that have law degrees. But was he free to go? No, he's not free to go. And as far as he's concerned, detention, custodial arrest, it's the same thing. And I think in this particular set of circumstances, that though we know what detention means, that this rises above detention and rises to the level of custodial interrogation. Additionally, you know, the detective had over 7 days to write his report. He testified that the incident took place on the 10th of January, and his report is not written until the 18th of January. That's part of the record. How can he not, with 21 years of service over a period of 8 days, not get his language right in his own report? But his report indicates that he was under arrest and that it was a search incident to arrest. So, you know, Judge, I just don't think there are specific articulable facts that would support unwarranted approach and arrest of Mr. Martinez. Certainly, there could have been a consensual encounter, but there's no facts here for a consensual encounter. It was just a flat out, I'm going to try to pass myself off as a Greyhound bus employee to determine his identity. And when that failed, they used force. And it was an illegal use of force. And everything that boiled out of that should be suppressed. Identity, the fact that he was carrying money, it should all be suppressed. I thank the court.
All right, thank you. So this is what the court is going to do. Of course, I'm aware of the law, but anytime someone gives case law to me, I always like to read it. The state provided case law. Defense, if there's some case law you want to provide to the court, I'll give you leave to do that. And I will make my ruling on Monday. That way, defense, if you want to add some case law to the record, you're more than welcome to do so. And if you do, that'll give state an opportunity to see what case law you're providing. And if they want to answer that, they can. And so because I'm going to be making my ruling on Monday, as I previously said, I'm assuming defense, if I don't rule in your favor, you're going to want the transcript.
Yes, Your Honor, we would like the transcript prior to trial. And Judge, I think that the three cases that are before the court, I think that a thorough reading of these cases are going to support our position.
Okay.
And so I see no need to burden the court with further cases.
Oh, it's never a burden. I love reading. Takes me back to my school days. But okay, so what I'll do is I will have a ruling for you all on Monday. And sir, they'll have you brought on over on Monday. Okay. All right. Is there anything else?
Not from the state, Judge.
Not for the defense, Your Honor.
All right, so the record will be closed, but if you all can confer with the court reporter to make sure that she has all of the exhibits that you offered into evidence.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. All right, Juan Martinez. All right, court is calling 2025 CR 004-887 State versus Juan Alberto Martinez. Can I have parties announce?
State. Robert Featherston and Pauls for Mr. Martinez.
And are you Mr. Martinez?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Martinez, the court had a chance to, as I've told parties, I know the law on this subject matter, but whenever anyone gives me case law, I always like to reread it, to re-review it, because sometimes it says something different when you interpret it. So I've had a chance to do that. I do recall all of the testimony from the witnesses that were called. And based upon the case law, based upon the testimony for the witnesses, the defense's motion will be granted. Is there anything else?
Judge, the statement request upon the passing.
All right. And just one moment. I will most definitely give you all the findings of facts and conclusions of law. But what the court will say is the court, with regards to any statements that were given, the court is finding that he was under arrest. It was not a detention, it was an arrest. And in the findings of fact and the conclusions of law, I'll state what the court is basing that upon. With regards to the arrest itself, the court is finding there was no probable cause for the arrest at all. And the court will submit findings of fact and conclusions of law as to why the court came to that conclusion, and the facts the court based those conclusions upon.
Your Honor, may I address the court?
Yes.
Judge, will your ruling include that his identity is suppressed? I mean, that's really the operative issue here,
Mhm.
that he had no probable cause or reasonable suspicion to determine his identity.
All right. So what the court is going to do is the court is suppressing the arrest. The court is suppressing any statements. That's what the court will do.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Is there anything else?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you.
Judge, I think the state has not indicated whether they want to proceed with the case or not. If, and I'm assuming that we're still in the
I don't-
process.
Believe they have anything to proceed on. Everything has been suppressed.
Well, I agree with the court, but I haven't heard the state say that whether they're going to appeal or drop the case or.
And that is what I will need to check on. This will be any kind of appellate issue or anything like that.
All right. If you all could find that out today, because is this the only thing that's holding him in
It's
custody?
the only thing that's holding.
Yeah. So if y'all can find that out, I will get an answer from them today.
Your Honor, you're most kind.
All right. Thank you.
May we be excused, Judge?
Well, if you will make sure you come back so we can have an answer for you. I say we,
I'll
but
hit the
the
other,
state.
I'll put you on the circuit.
All right.
I'll
Thank
be right
you.
back.
Thank you. You're welcome.